Today it is El Clasico time. Dad versus Luke.
I think we had to do this one, didn't we?
Yeah. This was the obvious choice, I think, outside of, Tottenham and United. But the reason why we've selected this is because the advantage of one being Real Madrid for yourself. Dad is the Real Madrid manager. You have a lot of money and not very many financial troubles. Me, as the Barcelona manager, does not have a lot of money and a lot of financial troubles with only 25% of the transfer revenue at the minute. So I think it gives me the handicap with the knowledge of Football Manager to sort of even it out.
That's what I'm hoping.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
So we've done our first season pre-season already. Let's take a look and see what transfers and tactics that we've made. I'll go first. If we take a look, obviously I didn't really have that much money and I haven't done anything. So we're all good. We've still got the likes of Lewandowski, etc., that I think can carry us going through, and all the transfers that Barcelona has made this season, which, I've got to be happy with, I guess. But as we can see here, no signings that I have brought in. Tactically, I'm going for this. It is a bit more of a 4-2-3-1, but with a bit of a roaming playmaker. And if I went with pick that restriction on the best 11, we can see this is what my assistant would select as my best 11. To be honest, the reason why I haven't selected anybody is because I kind of agree with it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of happy just to let it play out, really. We've got the likes of De Jong, who's going to be pivotal in there. Gavi, obviously, who progresses really well on this game, as well as Pedri, Ansu Fati, and Dembele's been fantastic as well. Okay.
Of course, the main man up front.
Yeah, with Bobby Lewandowski up top. Should we look at results first or go straight on to see what you've done?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, we'll look at my results first then.
Yeah.
All right. We haven't played each other.
No.
Which, I think that's kind of a good thing, because then we don't want to give anything away. But the first game of the season, I lost. So, and this was still when I was playing around with the tactic.
You scored a penalty as well.
Yeah, I was playing around with the tactic and trying something different. Espanyol, the derby though, I did manage to get my win back. 3-0 there. Then I drew to Atletico Madrid, the other side of Madrid. And then a big win there against Real Betis, 5-3. My Champions League group is Leverkusen, Milan, and Celtic, so that's quite difficult, to be fair. Let's take a look and see what you've done. Now, you have made transfers, Dad. We'll take a look at that. Obviously, you've got the likes of Endrick coming in as well, but you have made transfers. First off is the signing that you've actually loaned back out to Valencia. You got Thierry Rendo Correa here. Now, behind the scenes, by the way, Dad came in with his notes again, and I noticed something. I was like, Dad, there's a lot of Wonder Kids on there that you definitely don't know who the hell they are.
No, I didn't.
And he smiled at me.
I thought, right, I've got to get this right this time, haven't I? So
I
looked a few of the players up, Wonder Kids on there,
on Football Manager,
and made sure I had a look at them and see which ones was available.
Yeah.
There's one of them.
I find it quite funny because I think he looked up FM22 Wonder Kids and not 23.
But there we go. So you actually had quite an updated list, to be fair. But there we go. So that was your first one.
I got my first player there.
Yeah.
I was happy to get him, but obviously he wasn't going to play for me this season. I just wanted to get him in. So I was quite happy to let him go back again.
Yeah. And get some first team football.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you signed Yuri Tillemans as well.
I wanted to get a nice little playmaker in there. There's a little story about what was going to happen now. I tried to be realistic tonight.
Yeah.
And I went for the obvious player, which is going to... Everybody knows me. My first player I always look at is going to be Jude Bellingham.
John Shelby. Oh, of course.
So I looked at Jude Bellingham because obviously, as we're sort of filming this now, it looks like he's going to go to Real Madrid next season.
Personal terms have been agreed.
So I tried again, and I did say to you tonight, I said my first sign is going to be Jude Bellingham and try and get it as realistic as we possibly can. I couldn't get anywhere near him, could I?
No.
So I went for this
game,
guy.
obviously, he's still at Dortmund, but the release clause hasn't kicked in, so it would be an extortion amount. So you went for Yuri Tillemans instead. Fairly good replacement, to be fair, for the price that you picked him up for, of just £25 million, with it being his last year of his contract. So tactically, you have lined up like this, and you wanted Carvajal to play as many games as possible. You've gone for a very standard 4-3-3. Your midfield is absolutely disgusting because, of course, you've got the likes of Luka Modric and Toni Kroos in there, and you already have Tchouaméni, Valverde, and Camavinga all available for when those guys
and then obviously the two up front as well.
Benzema and Vinicius Jr. Rodrigo's exactly quite good.
Going forward, I am absolutely red hot.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But that's how you've laid it out.
And as I look at it, they're probably the best goalkeeper in the world.
Do you think? Courtois, best goalkeeper in the world?
I didn't like him when he was at Chelsea, and I thought it was a good move for Chelsea to get rid of him. But when you see the games that he's played, come on, he's kept Real Madrid in the games. Some of the saves he's pulled off,
All right.
especially this season.
I'll leave that one for the comments section to absolutely burn and roast you. But
After
there we go.
watching them this season, I mean, Man City, I said from the beginning, Man City will beat Real Madrid this season, and they did. But he made it a lot harder than what it could have been.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to comment because everybody would just argue with me who I choose. Okay, so schedule-wise, you've done quite well. You've won every single game so far. Now, the UEFA Super Cup, good 3-1 win there, only after extra time. And this is when you started messing around with your tactic.
Yeah, did you?
We spent many a times going, what does that player role do? What does that player role do? And then went for all of this. And you actually come up quite good because you beat Athletic Bilbao 2-1. You beat Villarreal 4-0. Espanyol 1-0, and then the Madrid derby straight away 2-0 win.
That was a big one for me.
UEFA Champions League group, you've got Liverpool and Napoli in there, which is
That's an hard group.
You've got the group of death because Napoli is very good on this
yeah.
game with the likes of Victor Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia.
I'm going to say it, got to win my own games. So if I win my own games, I feel confident I'll go through.
All right then. Well,
I'm bound to sneak a draw somewhere now.
Yeah.
Liverpool's the obvious one, but you never know.
But this is going to be the exciting part, of course. We are in the exact same game for the very first time of doing a versus simulation rebuild. Get your predictions down in the comments section. And obviously, as well, you got to let us know who you think are building the best team. And, of course, Patreon members, you get access to this on the £5 tier at the end of the rebuild for patreon.com/OmegaLoot Gaming. You can get both sides of it and take it on if you like. Right, let's simulate this first season. Who has the early bragging rights? First season. Third.
Valencia's the biggest surprise there, I think, but I'll take that.
Yeah, Valencia finishing in second place. I mean, Valencia finishing on 89 points is quite extraordinary, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I think the interesting thing is that the top 3 teams lost 5 games each.
Yeah.
So who did I lose my 5? Did I lose against you at all?
You did. In the home fixture as well. I beat you at the Santiago
Real
Bernabeu.
Sociedad beat me twice.
Yeah. I didn't lose to you. So I went unbeaten in the El Clasico in the league anyway.
Really? You done me then.
Well, you're still walking away with the title.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is 2019 was the last time they lifted it. So there's been a full pandemic since.
Yeah.
I've had 2 children since Barcelona last won the league title. 30 goals for Lewandowski, though. Karim Benzema got 28 as well. So I won the Golden Boot, the highest average rating, and the most assists. But I cannot lift a title. Now, we're on Barcelona. So whatever competition that when we click on competitions now, is going to be my results, not yours. Okay.
Right. God, I could have been
So
jumping
that-
in. If you win something, I'll be good.
Exactly, yeah. As soon as it comes up saying
I'm
winner
glad
of
you
the
said
Copa del
that.
Rey, and you're like,
Yeah.
get in. Right, okay. We got Copa del Rey. We both got the Champions League. How have I done? Oh, take that. Yes. Champions League and the Copa del Rey. Oh, you can have the league title down. I don't really care. I don't care. Finishing 3rd place, that's fine.
Champions League.
Champions League final against Liverpool. Lewandowski with the winner in the 85th minute. Let's go. I'm buzzing now. I'm well happy with that. Copa del Rey. Did I beat? I thought I beat you in the final then. Atletico. I knocked Atletico out in extra time. 108th minute from Elias Akamak. Right, okay. Well, the question is now...
First season to you then, really, mate. I want to give that one to you.
Yeah, the question is now, where did you finish in these competitions? 4th round, surely you're still there. You are. Elche, you beat them. Then you beat Real Betis. You got to the semi-final. Oh, that's bragging rights. Come on. Yes. Right, I've knocked you out of the Copa del Rey. The Champions League, though, that'll be even funnier if I knocked you out of this one. Right, let's take a look. Champions League. Where did Dad come in the Champions League? So surely group stage we both gone through. We did. You beat Dortmund. I beat Tottenham. 5-0 as well. The quarter-final. I've knocked you out of both competitions. Bye-bye. See you later. No wonder why you won the league. You now have no cup competitions to go for after April.
Oh,
Easy.
Can't believe that.
Lovely stuff. Right, I'll take that. Okay, great times. Great times there. We're on mine still. Let's take a look at my goals. 43 for Bobby Lewandowski. That's not bad at all. Ferran Torres got 17, which does surprise me, to be fair, that he played that many, if anything. If we look at Real Madrid, 35 goals from Karim Benzema. Now, we did set this up, by the way. So, obviously, there's a few players that are going out of contracts. Now, we set it up so that they would have the director of football who would sign on the extra contract contract extensions. But when we've had a check, we've got Benzema and Luka Modric both leaving.
And I think I've read in the news that
They both
Benzema wants to go.
Yeah.
So how
realistic.
How realistic is this?
Yeah,
I mean,
he might have already agreed to go by the time this comes out.
I did say to you, didn't I, that I was going to look to sell Luka because of his age, 37. He probably won't going to do me another good season.
And you kind of like need to start giving the youngsters game time.
But Benzema, I did want to keep another season, maybe another 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And he's 35, so he wasn't going to last me the 5 years.
No.
So it's forced my hand really. As much as I didn't really want to, it forced my hand really.
Yeah.
So the next transfer market, I've got to get at least a striker.
Yeah.
But I've got to make sure I sign, because I see there as well is
Vinicius Junior.
Vinicius
Offers
Junior
coming in for him.
and said he's one player. I mean, 22 years of age. There's no way I'm going to let him go. I just
No.
can't afford to let him go.
No, he is.
What a player that boy is. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So
So yeah, that's going to take some. I mean, 61 million as well is embarrassing. You've got 109 million pound with a very good wage budget, so you can definitely manoeuvre things around. However, on the poor side of La Liga, we have 29 million. And do you know what? I thought it'd be a lot worse than that. I'll take it. I am losing also a couple of players as well, and I still only get 25% of my transfer revenue, but I'm 144 million in the red. Ugh. Okay, season number 2. Right, well, it looks quite abysmal, really, because I haven't really been able to do anything. I signed Benjamin Pavard. So, good right back. We lost Sergi Roberto and Hector Bellerin in one transfer window. Obviously, Hector Bellerin wasn't actually playing for us anyway, but he was there. And I also sold Samuel Umtiti, funny name.
yeah.
But I only signed Benjamin Pavard, £21 million from Bayern Munich. He's a good player, to be fair, and he's a good squad player. Can you play in many different positions? I do have options at right back, the likes of Jules Koundé and we've got Araujo, who can both play there. So I'm not too worried about that right back situation. It has only left me with like £7 million left, but even if I moved that up, I only went to 20. There weren't really anybody that could come in for that. So I'm kind of having to just stick with what we've got, and I have changed the tactic because I think league-wise, I need to catch you up. You beat me by quite a bit, really. So even though I won the Champions League and I'm buzzing with that, I'm changing it and I'm going to go for this more attacking style here. So I've got an inverted winger, a shadow striker, mainly to suit the players that I've got in my team. And if I did pick without restriction here, we can see my best 11 looks like this. And we got Gavi playing that advanced playmaker, a role that he is really good, and Ansu Fati on the left in the role that he's good in too. Koundé and Balde are going to be the new right and left back by the looks of it, which I'm fine with. We've got a very good, young, talented team. Schedule-wise, I played Napoli in the Super Cup. They were in your group. You knocked them into the Europa League.
Yeah.
They went and won the Europa League. They also beat me on penalties in the UEFA Super Cup. Fair enough. Almeria is the other team that I played. 2-0 against them, and Mallorca 1-0 against them. My Champions League group is Arsenal, Milan and Gladbach. That's another difficult one there. That's two very difficult ones. But let's take a look at what you have done in the summer, because this is what's going to be very exciting, is what Dad has managed to accomplish. As we can see, he only has £3 million left, which means he has spent an extortionate amount of money, 100 million, and he sold a couple of players here. We got the deals done early, though, by the looks of it. Kalulu was the first guy we brought in, can play centre-back, can play right-back. I think that's a very good signing for you.
Yeah, I was looking at the right back mainly. I wanted to strengthen up my defence a little bit more.
Yeah.
And start bringing in young players as well.
Yeah.
I was building, I'm not just building for myself, building for the Patriots as well.
Yeah.
Because usually when I got a team, then I just buy anybody, don't care what age they are.
Yeah.
But no, I thought this time I'm going to try and buy a little bit of a younger player as well. So I stuck to my guns for that as well.
He's so selfless. He's doing this for you guys, you know?
But I got silly money to play with as well. So
Yeah.
I was looking for the best young talent out there, and this guy comes up.
To be fair, I think Real Madrid have been doing that recently, though, haven't they? You know, look at the Brazilians that they're bringing in. Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo. They've took gambles on those two players. It's paying off.
Yeah.
Tchouameni, Valverde,
I mean, in a minute, they're going to
Camavinga.
be the best side around for years.
They're signing Bellingham, is he still a teenager? I can't remember whether he's a teenager
I think
still.
he's 20 now, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's just turned 21 of that. So, you know, they are building for the future.
Yeah.
They're building a hell of a team for the
And that's
future.
what I'm doing here now.
And that's what you're continuing doing.
Yeah.
But this one is a here and now because you had to do it, and I don't blame you, and it happens quite often in Football Manager anyway, automatically. Victor Osimhen to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He's not exactly old either, he's only 24.
Obvious choice, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, when we looked at the goal scorers there, the strikers there, he just stood out like a sore thumb, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
And so I just jumped at the chance of getting him, and I thought it was a good price.
Yeah, to be fair, you only paid £86 million, which is a very good price. That was his minimum fee release clause. He scored 4 goals in the 2 games that he's played for you already, and got an assist with 2 player of the matches in his only 2 games. That's not
so I feel I've replaced him, really.
Yeah, you made 2 other signings. Antonio Silva, centre-back. You mentioned exactly the reason why.
19 years of age. Good. I thought youngster coming through.
Yeah.
Another bargain, I thought.
Yeah, was on his list.
Yeah.
And then finally, another one that was on his list, and this is the reason why I thought you've got FM22's list as well. You've researched FM22 players because Luis Enrique was on there, and Ian as good as what he was on FM22, let me tell you that. So you've got Luis Enrique as well that you picked up for £12 million, £10 million. So more of a backup.
Squad
definitely.
player.
Yeah, squad player. Your tactic, you've changed it, Dad.
Yeah, I did, yeah. I just wanted to play a little bit more attacking than what I did the first season. Mainly because I think that's maybe where I lost the Champions League.
Yeah.
Played just too defensive, not enough attacking. So I've gone for that, really.
I did the opposite.
Yeah. So I've sewn up my midfield, centre midfield.
Yeah.
Put me right back in there, but I wanted Tielemans to be that ball maker, playing around.
Playmaker.
Yeah.
And how has it fared for you so far? Well, Carvajal's testimonial, you won that one 4-0.
Yeah.
4-1, well done. But Las Palmas 4-0 and Real Betis 4-0. 2 very good results there. Can't really tell how the season's going to go from that because you haven't really played anybody challenging yet. Betis is all right, but your Champions League group is Juve, Salzburg, and Partizan. You've got the easier draw out of the 2 of us, I think.
I should definitely go through that.
Yeah, you had the bogey. You had the group of death last year, didn't you? So that's fair, I think. The final this year has been held at Wembley, so one of us can win that. That would be nice. We can visit Mum on the way back.
Yeah.
How have we done though? Let's simulate this second season, but before we do, okay. That second season. Come on!
A point.
1 point.
Point.
That's not bad at all, is it?
I only lost 3 games this time as well, look.
Yeah, you lost the less games than what I did. One of the games was against me away at the Camp Nou. Lewandowski, 45 goals. That's what's won it for me there. The goal difference, you still had a higher goal difference, but I'm guessing he's scoring the crucial ones, the ones that are getting me the 3 points. I lost 4 games. Again, I did not lose to you in the league.
I can't believe that.
First time I have won a league title since 2019. The Barcelona fans are going to be absolutely buzzing with me. A Champions League, a Copa del Rey, a league title. I've done all 3 already in 2 years. But it's the bragging rights that we're going for in this El Clasico versus rivals competition rebuild that we've got. Right, we're on your section here. So this competition will be whatever you have won or lost or however you've done this year. No, you won the Super Cup. But the round of 16 by AC Milan and the quarter-final of the Copa del Rey.
What
2
a
very,
bad season that
very bad results.
What about us because of getting sacked?
Whoa. Well, let's take a look. How have I done then?
Go wrong there?
Let's see. Oh, I'm the Copa del Rey winner again. It's semi-final of the Champions League, knocked out by Liverpool. Who did they go on and win it? They did against Lazio in the final at Wembley.
That's 2 finals they've been in a row then.
Yeah, they've knocked me out this time, and I won. In the final, the Copa del Rey, I beat Sevilla. In the final, did I knocked out? Oh no, you were already eliminated by somebody else. Yeah, you were knocked out by Almeria. Wow, okay.
Bad, isn't it?
I was waiting for you in the final. Thought there would be a showdown, but there wasn't. They didn't show up. There we go. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you're back in,
League title, Copa del Rey. That's 2 Copa del Reys. 1 Champions League, 1 league title to your 1 league title.
We'll catch up already after
So
2
far.
seasons.
So far, so good. Goals-wise, Lewandowski got 61 for me, which is unbelievable. He is
How old is he?
extended for another
35.
year by the looks of it. 35, yeah.
What a striker.
21 goals for Mansu Fati. We got a few wanted signs, and he's unhappy as well. He wants a new deal due to good form. That's fine. I might have to look into that. Let's take a look at your goals, and then we'll go have another look at the money situation. You got 34 there from Victor Osimhen in 38. Good start.
Yeah, pleased with that.
Vinicius Jr. though got 23 and 17. Very good indeed.
Yeah.
Happy with that. And Yuri Tielemans got 13 and 13 there. That's another good highlight there.
Good sign, really. Even though I think that might have been moving him into that position might have cost me the league, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Two attacking.
Valverde and Camavinga, your other centre midfielders, though, both got 13 assists, so they've both done really well.
Yeah.
Your money situation, 169 million. Jesus. And you'll have Endrick joining this year as well, obviously, the best wonder kid on the game. He joins you because
he won on
deal.
one less, you know.
No, I'm shocked because he wasn't around in FM22. And then also we can take a look at my finances, which again are abysmal. I've got 57 million pounds, so just 140 million pounds shorter than what you've got, but I am the league title winners, so I've got a big wage budget.
Let's get serious now, man. It's going to get serious.
Oh yeah, if you can catch up. Right, okay, let's have a look then at the third summer. Right, now I think this was my best summer yet. I mean, it wasn't much to go for because obviously I didn't only sign one player, but there we go. I sold Ansu Fati quite late on in the window, but there was a good replacement, to be fair, available, and I thought I'll go for it. £73 million, not a lot, but my replacement's very good. £20 million for Clement Longley as well. I signed Kvaratskhelia from Napoli.
Yeah.
The Georgian Maradona coming to Barcelona.
Good sign.
Excited. I don't get to buy him very often, so I'm really happy to bring him in, especially in this versus £95 million. Napoli made a lot of money considering they only spent £8.5 million. Very good deal from them, but there we go. I also signed a backup goalkeeper because I needed one, so Christensen comes in, but I got 2 free transfers and I'm very happy with them. One of them, Lewandowski's mate, Thomas Muller. Lewandowski, yeah? Thomas Muller
you
signed.
love him, don't you?
I love him so much. So much. And again, it's a player I've never been able to sign on a rebuild because he doesn't ever leave, does he? So very weird that he was available for a free transfer, and usually I'm not a club that he would ever want to go to, but he wanted to come to us.
For an age though, look at the greens on there.
Still
He's
unbelievable.
Still out of a player,
yeah,
isn't he?
it's just the pace and agility that's a little bit less, but all those years at Bayern Munich, 2004 to 2005 is when he come through the youth academy.
Brilliant.
Unreal. He made his debut in 2008 because I remember when he went to the 2010 World Cup and he was class in it, and I was just thinking, oh, he's just so good. But there we go. Right, Thomas Muller is my player, but we've also returned Dani Olmo, who of course went to Leipzig after Dinamo, but before that he came through La Masia Barcelona Academy before moving to Dinamo in Croatia. Took a gamble on himself and definitely it paid off. He's doing really well at Leipzig. I signed him on a free transfer, so I brought him back home to Catalonia. Very good. Happy with that. Tactically, I'm sticking with what I had. I won the league. Yeah. So a league and cup. So I've got to be happy with that. People might have gone, why did you change your tactic from win the Champions League? Paid off for me if you ask me. Got to the semi-final, still the Champions League. I think it definitely paid off. Schedule-wise, how have I done so far? Celta 4-1, Elche 2-1, so we can't really go on that too much. And now we are also into the league phase of the Champions League, which I've got Leipzig, Inter, Chelsea, Juve, Frankfurt, which, if you didn't know, my favourite German team.
No.
Yeah.
Are they? Really?
Yeah. I know. I've been keeping it a secret from you guys this whole time. Okay, let's take a look at what Dad has done in this transfer window. How has he counteracted what I have done? Well, as you can see, he spent a lot of money as well. We have sold, kind of, Yuri Tillemans, who will be leaving on a transfer after his loan deal. You also sold the player that you signed for 35 million for 6 million. Good deal.
Don't think he was going to turn out as good as I thought he was going to turn out.
He would have been class if it was FM22.
Yeah, that's right.
But you have replaced quite well, actually. I do think you've replaced quite well. But you've also sold £195 million. You said you weren't going to sell him, and you sold Vinicius Jr.
He just come up and he said he's not happy, and I tried giving him a new contract, everything. We'd done everything we could to try and keep him, and he wouldn't stay, would he?
No. And
he just did not want to stay.
Were relentless.
Oh, they just kept on and on, and I just kept on saying, "You didn't, no," and then it comes up, I'm unhappy. You're blocking me. I tried to do everything to keep him, and he just did not want to stay.
He took him out for lunch. He did everything, and he was having none of it.
So I thought, right, if you're going to be that bad, then I'm going to take as much money as I possibly can for you, and that's what I did in the end.
177 up front, 192 million in total, as well as the 190 million he already had in his transfer budget. What a summer he probably had.
It did hurt me selling him, but there's no point in keeping a player in the team who doesn't really want to be there.
No.
So
Your replacement was Rafael Leao. Made sense, to be fair. It's what is the closest player that you could potentially get outside of Kvaratskhelia, probably.
Yeah.
That would be available for us. So Rafael Leao is now a Real Madrid player, £77 million.
Look at the money I had to pay for him. So
yeah, he was on a
I'm 100
clause.
million in profit now. We're the same sort of class player, so I was happy.
So there we go. We got Bastoni as well, which this is where the money went.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Joe, I was trying to strike for my defence.
160 million.
Yeah. Well, I've just made 100 million on one player.
Yeah, I know.
Really,
you already had
profit.
190.
So I thought, right, go for him. That strengthens my defence even more.
Yeah. Then you went for Dominic Szoboszlai. You wanted a centre midfielder who can go forward and give you some advantage on the wing should you need it. Dominic Szoboszlai definitely fits that. Obviously, there's a big link with Hungarians and Real Madrid with Tomasz Puskás. So that's a nice little link that you've got him instead of me getting him.
Yeah.
Because, if I go for, a Turkish, then we've got that kind of link. But you got all the Dutch, obviously, with Barcelona and the Dutch. There is very little links with Real Madrid, but one of them is definitely Tomasz Puskás. So we've got Ferran Puskás, sorry, not Tomasz Puskás. Ferran Puskás. We've got £68 million there for Dominic Szoboszlai.
I was pleased with that.
Yeah.
Good signing that.
Very big signing, 23 years of age, got a lot of time ahead of him. We've also got another £107 million once we had the season tick over. Max Aarons at right back. You sold one of the right backs. We've got Max Aarons coming in, £44 million.
Yeah, I just wanted a good squad player. He fitted the role. Not a bad price, I thought, so I went for him.
You went for him indeed.
Yeah.
Because you also got Kyle Walker.
Well, this is funny because I'd already bought the other player, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then he just come up as a free transfer, and I thought, he's 34. I'm not. I thought, hang on a minute. We're talking Kyle Walker here. We're talking about one of the best, quickest right backs in what I class in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And he's free.
Yeah.
I'd be silly not to.
And while we were simulating through, or not simulating, but going through the summer, we had the telly on above us, and it was doing an interview with Kyle Walker. And you know our dad is very sentimental. He won't sign a player because he had the same birthday as him. Kyle Walker said how much he loves Spurs and loved his time there.
He absolutely loved his time there, and to prove it, he's got the Tottenham badge tattooed.
No, he's got the cockerel.
Yeah.
He's not got
the cockerel is the badge, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got the cockerel tattooed on his leg.
Yeah.
And to me, I just went to you and I went, I never knew that.
Yeah.
I take everything back against what I've ever said against Kyle Walker. He is now one of my top guys. I like him.
Yeah, so do you want to show him your top Kyle Walker tattoo that you've got on your back? Or
like Luke said, that was just as we were looking at this, and I thought, it's Kyle Walker, isn't it? I'm having him.
Weird how these things play out.
I signed him.
Yeah, there we go. So Kyle Walker is now a Real Madrid player, as well, of course. Endrick has joined, and he looks very good for an 18-year-old Brazilian on this game. Okay, he joins the likes of Rodrigo and Vinicius Junior, signing at a very young age in this Brazilian league. Tactically, you've changed it. You've gone back to the 4-3-3.
I had to go back, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, you went back to your season 1 style with
I wanted to keep
roles.
these two players in that position because I think that's. I mean, he's the heart of my defence. I think he's just absolutely solid, isn't he?
Yeah, very good player.
And I'd be an idiot not to play him this, so I wanted to make sure he was there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very good. Bastoni on that left-hand side, where he obviously is left-footed. He suits that. And schedule-wise, you've played 2 games. You've won 4-1 and 4-0. Very good. Okay, let's simulate this Thursday. Oh, actually, we're looking at your Champions League group, your Champions League fixtures. You've got Liverpool, Man United, and Dortmund. Oh, very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now we will simulate.
Did I ever tell you that Dortmund's my favourite German side?
You haven't.
Didn't I tell you that?
No, you haven't.
They're my favourite German side.
We should do Dortmund versus Frankfurt one time.
Yeah, we should do, shouldn't we?
That would be a good idea.
I wonder how many people said that's a good idea.
The comment sections are, I wrote that.
I'll tell you what, guys, it's brilliant. Some of the ideas you're sending in to us is great.
Yeah,
just keep them coming at us.
Definitely.
Because we've had a few that we didn't think about as well, haven't we? So
yeah, and we've got them wrote down.
Yeah, definitely.
We've realised that we can probably do one of these, maybe once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks, can we? So this will be something that we're going to bring to you more often, the rebuilds versus each other. So any suggestions like that, by all means. Nothing stupid. Gateshead versus Bath City. No.
It's not happening.
No.
Where am I going to get 100 million to spend?
Yeah. Jude Bellingham is never going to go to Gateshead.
No, it's not.
All right? You can't even get him for Real Madrid at the minute. All right, okay. Let's simulate this next season. Third season. Pulled it back.
Take him back.
Pulled the league title back by quite 7 points as well.
I lost 4 games this season.
Yeah,
Don't tell me I lost against you again.
You did? Away from home?
Again.
Did I lose to you, though? That's the question. I did. 2-0. So, 89 points there. Finished runners-up after winning the league title last year. 40 goals for Robert Lewandowski.
Ooh,
Victor Osimhen was one.
I'm catching you now. I'm catching you.
Yeah, he's got a higher average rating. You dominated the assists. Look at that. Szoboszlai with 19 assists there. And man of the matches were level as well between Osimhen and Lewandowski. I think Osimhen was probably there because he maybe either had less games or less minutes played.
Top clean sheets as well.
21 clean sheets. Yeah, a couple more than Ter Stegen. Very good. You had a great goal difference.
Yeah.
Plus 90 goal difference. Solid. Right, we are on mine. So this will be how, in the competitions, how I do. Of course, I've won back-to-back Copa del Reys. Oh, runners-up of the Champions League.
He got there again.
I swear to God, if it's you that's beating me in the final.
Come on!
I swear to God. Please, please do not be Liverpool.
Oh, see, you've disappointed me already because I know now.
I had to. I couldn't go on yours and then find out that way. Right, okay. Liverpool. Right, that's fine.
So you didn't win nothing?
I didn't, no.
Oh, so I'm one up on you this season already.
You are.
With the Copa del Rey still to play for.
You are, because I was eliminated in the 4th round of the Copa del Rey, so you might have won the Copa del Rey as well.
Come on.
You had a very good chance. If I'm knocked out the 4th round and you don't win the Copa del Rey, that's embarrassing.
Something bad in it, yeah.
Yeah, if I were you, I'd resign. Competitions, how have you done? Yeah, you
get in. Should do, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, you should have, yeah. Liverpool was the team that knocked you out in the Champions League semi-final, who beat me in the final. You beat me in the Super Cup as well.
I'll take that.
We're not really counting it too much, but you did it anyway.
Bragging rights is good enough for me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. You beat Villarreal in the final 3-0, so a good result from you there in the Copa del Rey. Double champ this season. Yeah, I've won a double, you've won a double, but my double was worth more.
You're still getting to the Champions League final, aren't you? And I'm not. And I mean, the squad I've got, I should be getting there. Come on.
I tell you what, though, it's tighter than what I thought it would be. I'll
is.
give you your due.
Yeah.
You've pulled out of the bag again. All right, fair enough. Goals-wise, we're on yours. 60 goals there for Victor Osimhen. That's a very good season. 27 there for Rafael Leao with 21 assists. And 20 goals from Antonio Silva. I think you've been using my corner tactic. And Szoboszlai, the set-piece police, are in the comments section kicking right off. Szoboszlai, 20 goals, 32 assists.
Brilliant,
phenomenal, yeah. Rodrigo's done really well for you too. You haven't really had a player that's done bad for you, if I'm honest. You've done exceptionally well there. Got to be proud of that. My Barcelona side, though, how have they done? We got 63 goals from Robert Lewandowski, so that's phenomenal. I keep renewing his contract every single year. Gavi there with the second highest goals, 13. That's probably the reason why you finish above me. I didn't have as many goal scorers as what you did. Kvaratskhelia, that's a bad season if you ask me. Just 10 goals and 16 assists for somebody who's that good. Yeah, I think Ansu Fati would probably done a little bit better. Transfer wise, I have £77 million, which is okay.
It's a good amount.
Yeah, you have 193.
Is that all?
Yeah, with a huge wage budget as well.
So I can make it to 200,000 easy, couldn't I?
Yeah, so there we go. Right, okay. 4th season. What happens? Okay, the things that happened in this summer. I sold Dani Olmo after signing him on a free transfer. I made a bit of profit from him after his one season. £13 million there. He didn't really play that many games, just 7 appearances. I also sold Ferran Torres for £36 million to Chelsea. Reason for that is because I needed to get £86 million because I had my eyes set on my future, and for you guys who take it on the Patreon, your future striker Evan Ferguson, who is very good on this game.
Yeah, he's good in the real game, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, in real life.
What an end of season he's had for Brighton.
Definitely. I mean,
good young talent coming through, I think.
18 goals in the Premier League in this, not bad at all. He's nowhere near the level of Lewandowski yet, but he has maybe a bit more of a physical prowess about him because he's obviously quicker, but Lewandowski just different.
I think
gravy,
this season there'll be a lot of teams watching him this season.
100%, yeah.
And if he has another good season,
I think it's 50-50 wherever he goes, you know.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes. Brighton fans might not be happy about that, but every single time you seem to sell a player, you find one from out of nowhere who just turns out to be better. The best run club in the country.
Yeah,
I genuinely think they are.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the only signing though. I also made a free transfer for Coop Miners, that Dutch link I mentioned. He's going to be more of a squad player because he can play in loads of different positions that we've got, but probably won't be a first teamer. Obviously, I lost Busquets after the second season he retired, so that's probably the reason why. I think I also lost Jordi Alba in this season too. I believe Jordi Alba retired in the summer, so I've got Balde, who's been playing anyway, who's just really good. So tactically, I'm going with this still. I changed player role roles from last time. That's what I think I've done. I've got Araujo, who I want to play right centre back, because occasionally when I do best 11 he goes to right back, which he does here, and I don't want that to happen. I'd rather him play centre back and Kunde play out right wing back, because Kunde is a little bit smaller. He's 5'10", and he's probably better suited to be in that role. Yeah. Araujo as a 6'2", I think he's got a bit more grit, and his mentals are absolutely disgusting. So I want him playing centre back a little bit more. But that's what I've got set up. Really, Lewandowski up top, with Evan Ferguson being the guy who will fill in when Lewandowski cannot play, because still good, still good, 37, still very good.
Brilliant.
Schedule wise, I've played 3 games so far. I've conceded 2 goals. Getafe, Villarreal,
Ferguson scored a couple in there as well.
He's got a couple. He's been all right. He's been good. And our Champions League games, let's take a look. Chelsea, Lazio, Man City. That's a difficult start. Lazio made the final like 2 seasons ago. So Shakhtar, Club Brugge, Napoli, and then 2 games which I should be winning. But we'll see about that. Let's take a look at Dad's transfer window though, because he had an extortionate amount of money once again. Has he signed anybody? Of course he has. He spent all of it. Let's take a look then. You sold Rudiger for £12 million. Did you sell anybody else by the looks of it? Yuri Tillemans obviously went through. Ferland Mendy, the left back you sold to PSG.
I wasn't using him really, was I?
No. The first thing that you did,
I needed a bit of money.
Yeah, the first thing you did was sign Diogo Costa.
Yeah, this is interesting after the comment I just said, wasn't it? But I was looking at the ages again, and I had because of the amount of transfer that I had, I thought, right, I want to get myself a really top goalkeeper as a replacement goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Young enough that takes through the patrons again.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done. So I stuck to my guns at signing young players, and this guy is one of the top ones around at the moment as well. So
also a little bit behind the scenes. Every time we go to sign a player, we can only give them a max 1-year contract, because a lot of our players are over 30, and we both have this maximum 1-year contracts for players over the age of 30. So we're having to renew them every year with an optional to stay. And Courtois was one of yours, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. And sometimes they don't stay neither, do they?
No,
so
that's the reason why we lost Benzema.
I've got to be aware of that. So
in
his contract as well, to sign the contract, it was he had to be the #1 goalkeeper, didn't it?
Yeah,
and I was saying to you, I said, can I still sign him but not make him #1 goalkeeper? And you said, well, they don't really like it. I said, no, bugger it, just do it, just sign him. So I just signed him, even though I knew I may not have been playing him, #1 straight away, but I took a chance.
You did indeed. You also signed a left back.
Yeah.
A guy that I didn't even know. We were just scrolling through it, and I said, I don't know who that is. And you went, well, how good is he? And then you were like, sign him. I was like,
I thought it was a good squad player, because he can also play centre defence as well.
Yeah,
and that was why I thought good price for a good squad player.
Good pace too, 6'4".
Yeah.
Good player. We also have a right back. This was your main target, I believe, for this summer, to get in a better right back, because Carl Walker left.
Yeah, he stayed for me for 1 season.
Yeah.
Helped me mate out, and just off you go then.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your service.
Anybody knows any tatty removals?
I won the league with him, so he done me the favour, didn't he? So there you go.
Anybody know any tatty removals? Dad's got a big one that he needs removing now. Raul Bellanova, £39 million after he's just signed for PSG. And you also signed Lorenzo Colombo, an Italian striker, as more of a backup.
Well, I was just thinking, if I did get an injury, I could be buggered then with only having one out-and-out striker. So I thought, right, go for another young one, up-and-coming one. And I've seen this one, I thought, right, I'll go for him.
Yeah, he scored 14 goals last season, so not bad at all. And then you got Fikayo Tomori. You had a bit of money left over. You sold Rudiger. You went for Fikayo Tomori, a bit younger.
And I'll just strengthen my defence up again.
Yeah.
As a squad, I wanted to make sure I had a really, really tight defence.
You are building a scary team.
Yeah.
It must be said, because even if you look at like the ability wise, look at that. That is absolutely disgusting. Until you get down to Endrick, which is less than 2.5 star, and he's only 19 with a 5-star potential, so he's going to get there.
Yeah.
So it is quite scary what you're building here. The tactic, you've gone obviously and stuck with this. It won you the league, and if you go with pick without the best restriction, the best 11s here without restrictions, this is kind of what it looks like. That's the reason why we had the Bella Nuova in at right back there, because Kalulu gets put in there. But other than that, it pretty much picked the team that you like and we're going for. So schedule wise, you played 3 games here in the league. Atletico 5-1. You had a Madrid derby at their ground, and you beat them.
Yeah.
You also beat Bilbao 5-0 as well. And then Levante 2-0. So you've had a great start. Champions League fixtures that you've had: Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, there's 2 difficult ones to start off with.
Galatasaray,
Yeah.
welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell. You
Yep.
also play Chelsea and Dortmund as well, so a couple of difficult games in
I mean,
there.
my last 2 games were easy. We always say the last 2 games, we always look at them, don't we? So
Yeah, so
I think I should easily go through there.
you should indeed.
Yeah.
Right, this is season number 4. Let's simulate it. Season 4.
Again.
Pulling away as well. Oh, that's one of my highest points tallies. 97 points, and I haven't won the league there. That's disappointing.
I lost 1 game.
Ooh, oh, please beat me. Please beat me.
No.
Yes. It's the small wins that you get. I didn't win the league, but at least I'll give you your only loss. That'll do. Okay, 93 goal difference. The team that you are producing here is very scary.
You still got the lead goal
I've
scorer
still
in
got
the
the
league.
leading scorer.
I'm
the
only
highest
22
average
this
rating,
time.
and the highest assist. And yeah, I still had 97. Like, I only lost 3. One of them was to you, but I only lost 3 games.
Yeah.
97 points, and I was still like 6 points off you. Ridiculous, really. Okay, fair enough. We are on yours.
Right.
So when we click on the competitions tab, this is going to be the trophies that you have won or lost. Which means I could have still win the Champions League and the Copa del Rey.
I nearly won the treble then. I got
If
all
it's
4
against me,
finals.
we'll go Copa del Rey first. Runners of the Copa del Rey 2. Yes! There's 1.
No.
There's 1. There's 1. Oh, for the love of please, let me win the Champions League over him. That'd be class. Pedri and Eric Garcia Many got your goal there, so I beat you in the 90 minutes. You probably beat me in the Super Cup because you won that. Yeah, you did 2-0, so you won that one. The Champions League. You're runners-up 2. Oh, Liverpool.
Liverpool again.
Liverpool get that
They've been
3
every final.
years in a row. They've been I beat them in the final.
you beat them in
didn't
the final.
3 years in a row, 4 finals in a row. Hold on, the Real Madrid game, they were in that. That's 5 finals in a row
Yeah.
that they've made, Champions League finals. Unbelievable. Liverpool won it again.
And they beat me quite easily as well, 3-0. That's
Yeah.
it's not a close game, is it?
No, not at all. Salah in 10 minutes as well, and then Darwin Nunez got 2 goals there.
Well, it's close for 80 minutes then.
Where was I knocked out to then? So was I still in this bit? That's the knockout playoff round of 16. There you are. You beat Napoli, Barcelona. Oh my God, I was knocked out by PSG in the round of 16. So PSG was in the knockout playoff. They beat Monaco, French.
Connections,
I
yeah.
think they could do that.
Yeah.
I think that might be a rule that they're not allowed to play against the same nation until you get to the actual knockouts. Because obviously it's not until the quarterfinals in our one, is in this format. But yeah, in the league phase, they dropped down into the 11th spot there. Arsenal were top, you were
They didn't
second.
lose a game, though.
No, I was there in 4th. I drew 1 and lost 1 as well. I drew against Man City and lost to Chelsea. You only lost to Bayern Munich. You beat the rest of them. 4-0 against Chelsea though.
Yeah.
Huge. Okay,
Well,
who do you think won that?
Chelsea at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely. Sorry, I was going to say, who do you think won that? You've won that season.
Yeah.
Are you winning overall? I think you are. You've got 3 league titles.
I got 3 league titles, and then I win the Copa del Rey.
You won a 1 Copa del Rey, 3 league titles. I've won 1 league title, 2 Copa del Reys, 3 Copa del Reys, and a Champions League. I still think we're even, you know. That Champions League's a big kicker.
I mean, yeah, I've won the league more times than you. Take the Copa del Rey out, I've won the league more than you, but you've won the big one.
Yeah,
you've
that's
won
it.
the big one.
Champions of Europe.
I mean, that counts to me as 2.
Yeah.
2 league titles.
So I think we are even.
I'll go for evens.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. The Copa del Rey sort of just wings it either way, but I'm winning the Super Cup, and I'm beating you each time in that as well, aren't I?
Yeah, but nobody counts the Super
It's
Cup.
bragging rights, mate. I'm taking it. If it was the other way around, you'd be saying it.
Right, Copa del Rey is kind of the kicker at the minute
Yeah.
between which is teetering over, and I think it is kind of the scales are almost tipping towards me, but we got 1 year left, and I think if I don't win another league title, it's going to be hard to argue unless I get another Champions League, because I don't think
If I win the
you
league-
win another league title,
Yeah.
and I only win the cup, I don't think that's big enough.
If I win the league, but you win the Champions League, I think you deserve the rights.
Yeah.
For the money you've had to spend and how you've done it, it'll be good.
Yeah. Speaking of the money, Real Madrid, you have 230.
Well, mate, I just got into the ringing Champions League final.
230
and won the league. Come
million.
on.
Right, how much money have I got? Let's have a look. If I haven't got anywhere near that, 38. Brilliant. Right, okay. 5th season. Okay, I made a couple of transfers out. One being Rafinha. I sold him to PSG. I haven't really spoke about him, but I also haven't really used him. He's been pretty much a sub for me most of this time. I also sold Benjamin Pavard, signing that I made in my first signing, actually. I sold him to Man Manchester United. So I only sold him for 20, signed him for 21 million, sold him age 31 to Man United for 37. I think that's quite good.
Yeah.
As a right back goes, I didn't really have a lot of money or options. So I went for Oscar Mingueza. And you're going to go, Luke, didn't he play for Barcelona before? Yeah, he did. They let him go a few seasons ago because he wasn't good enough. And then I thought, well, I've got to bring him back. So I keep bringing back players who have already left because they weren't good enough. But there we go. That's what happened. Also, though, splashed all of my cash on one player that maybe I probably should have put towards the right back, but I thought, no. Dejan Kulusevski, which is also quite funny because you were looking for a player in that very similar position at the time, and you went, have you bid for Dejan Kulusevski yet? Because the rule is, and I haven't mentioned this yet, anybody is fair game until somebody puts in a bid. We couldn't steal a player if somebody's put a bid.
Or buy each other's players.
Yeah, they were off grounds and until that player rejected the team that had gone in for him. So as soon as I put in a bid for Kulusevski, it was off grounds for Dad. He went for another player that I had rejected. We'll get to that in a minute because it's quite an interesting story there. So I got Kulusevski, £80 million. I think that's a great signing. He looks phenomenal, to be fair. He plays on that right-hand side or in behind the striker. And I've gone back to my Season 1 tactic. It won me the Champions League.
Yep.
I've won the league and the cup with the other tactic, but I want to win that Champions League again. I've changed a couple of player roles, but it's very much the same similar tactic. I want to win the Champions League again. I'm going to go for broke. This is what the team would look like if I picked my best 11. Can't really disagree with that. Lewandowski's still there, age 38. Pace is a little bit down, but I still think it's worth putting him in because he is still scoring the goals. He's still phenomenal.
He can go score the season, isn't he?
There, yeah. So there we go. Thomas Muller's even still here, to be fair. Right, and then my schedule so far, I've played 3 games. I didn't play that tactic in those 3 games. I played my previous tactic and I don't think it was going very well for me, which is the reason why I swapped back. So I'm going in this blind, to be honest. 5-3, 2-1 and a 2-all, and that's when I thought I need to change tactic. It was a 93rd minute equaliser, granted, but I've gone for a Hail Mary, if I'm honest. I am going to play the champions in my first game here in the Champions League at Anfield. Inter Milan. I've also got Man City too. The last 2 games are my 2 easy ones, really. But there we go. Okay, have a look and see what Dad has done. Now, we'll mention the scenario that we had. But you sold £41 million worth, but it was only 28 million, which was Max Aaron's. You brought in Martin Odegaard.
Yes, I did bring him in.
£145 million. It is a player that Real Madrid used to have and sold to Arsenal for 30 million. He became Arsenal's best player. Dad's favourite team is Tottenham. Their rivals are Arsenal, and Dad sold and signed their best player for 145.
There was a reason behind that, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dad went for Old Faithful.
Like I said to you, I try to keep it realistic, and all of a sudden, Jude Bellingham was available, and I put the bid in for him. The bid got accepted. Went to the wages. He accepted the wage that I offered him as well, which was a lot of money. And I thought, yes, got the boy I really wanted. This is it. And he rejected it and went to Chelsea for, way under what I offered him.
He had already moved to Chelsea.
Oh, was it? He was already at Chelsea.
He was already at Chelsea, but he re-signed a new contract.
Yeah.
So you went from.
And I'm sat there and I'm going, you are joking. He rejected my offer.
Yeah.
And it was
£118 million that you offered as the transfer, and you offered him about 400 grand a week, and he took a deal for like 250.
Yeah, it was a lot less.
So
I was absolutely gutted. So
you went for Martin Odegaard.
Well, I just had a look around and I thought, well, there's a novice player there that I've got to go for.
Yeah.
I needed that style of player. He was the one that fitted it perfectly, so I went for him.
There we go.
I saved a lot of money as well.
Yeah. You also went for a right midfielder that rejected... Well, actually, I rejected him because of the wages and went for Kulusevski. You said, if you're not going for him, I'll go for him. You went for him. That was Jadon Sancho. You offered him 500 grand. He signed a new deal at Manchester United, so instead you went for Jeremy Pino, which, to be fair, is a good backup.
I went for... He just, obviously, a squad player as well. Played right across the front line, can he? So I got what I wanted in the end, really.
Very good signing.
Another young lad.
You also need a left back, and you went, who's that guy? I went, Daddy plays for your team. He's a Spurs player. You went, oh yeah, of course he is.
Yeah. And I think the one that we haven't mentioned on here is the goalkeeper. Didn't I lose my goalkeeper?
You lost, that's right. You lost Thibaut Courtois.
Yes, I did, didn't I?
Courtois moved club at the end to Arsenal.
He wouldn't sign
a
new contract. So I was jumping then because obviously I'd signed the new guy.
Yeah.
So I got in. I already had a decent goalkeeper in. But I said to you straight away, didn't I? I said, my reserve goalkeeper who was on the transfer transfer list, wouldn't he? I should
Yeah,
take him,
right off. Andre Lunin is the guy that Dan mentioned as the backup goalkeeper there. So I still think you've got a quality team.
He's a good goalkeeper as well as a backup keeper, wouldn't he?
So tactically then, in your final season, you're sticking with what you had previously. You're not securing anybody in. You just said go for it.
Let the manager do what he wants to do.
Yeah, which if you did pick best 11 would look like this.
And I was quite happy with that one.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not bad. Valverde obviously is the only one that I would transfer out if I had to pick it myself, but putting Valverde there's no like, oh god, what are you doing? I think that's just the fact that you got
I did tinker with playing 2 up front as well, didn't I?
Yeah, so we'll look at
for
that.
the first few games.
We played a weird formation. As you can see here, there's like loads of different numbers. Dad played like a player in behind a striker. He also played 2 strikers, and then he just went, stick to what I had before. So 6-0 against Celta, 2-1 against Atletico.
That's where I changed it. Those 2 games were 2-1 and 4-1. That's where I changed it.
And then Valencia 4-1.
Hang on a minute. And then I seen Man City and Barcelona as my next sort of couple
of games coming up.
And I thought, put it back to where it was.
Yeah, go for Old Faithful, I guess. Man City, Juve, Man United, and then the 2 French sides at the end there. Okay, fair enough. Not bad. So, we're agreeing.
Final season.
I need to either win the league, and if I don't win the league, it needs to be a Champions League, or else, to be honest, I think the scale's tipping your favour.
Right.
Even with Copa del Rey's, because 4 league titles that's some doing out of 5.
Come on.
Let's simulate this 5th and final season.
So whose results are we going to say? Who are we actually seeing?
Well, we'll find out.
Is it mine or yours?
Final season.
Get in there. Get in. Look at my goal difference and how many points I beat you by.
Absolutely stuffed me.
It better not be the only game I lost, but it'd be you.
Please.
Oh,
I lost 3 games. I drew way too many. I drew 9 games. I didn't beat you either. Didn't beat you. You beat me 3-0 and 1-1. Oh, I drew way too many games.
And I got the leading goal scorer.
I got the leading goal scorer of 40. Victor Osman is a monster now. Absolutely incredible player. Lewandowski's got 25. He's still really good. But you also got the 3 highest average rating players and the top 2 assists as well. And
my goalkeeper, the clean sheets as well.
And mine is nowhere to be seen, but my old goalkeeper is, who I sold. So there we go. That's great, isn't it?
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
We are on mine. So I need to see that winners of the Champions League. I need it there. Oh no!
Oh, and you can run us up
the Copa del Rey as well. Absolutely stunk it out.
So you got knocked out by Liverpool again.
Knocked out by Liverpool. Okay, we're gonna go straight to yours. So we don't know whether you've won any. We know you've won the league.
Right.
Have you done anything else? If you win the Champions League, it's a landslide. Oh, you won the Copa del Rey, but you did not win the Champions League. Runners up.
But not against Liverpool.
That's like 6 in a row. 6 in a row. They've done 4 back to back, which is better than what Real Madrid did, obviously last decade. Unbelievable. 1-0 as well. Declan Rice.
Rice scoring.
Rice, baby. The Copa del Rey, you beat me in the final 2-1. Lorenzo Colombo. I was 1-0 up, and you had 10 men. I absolutely threw that one away. And Lorenzo Colombo, your absolute backup striker, was a hero. You didn't even play Victor Osman.
Oh, there you go.
God, like you going all cocky now. See, FM22 Wonder Kids worked on FM23. I don't believe it. Well, fair play, Dad. You won that one.
Thank you.
The El Clasico version.
I'm really disappointed
in me.
No. I'm disappointed in not winning the Champions League. I think with the team that I had, I should have won it.
You had an unbelievable team.
But that's money for you, and that's what money can do for you. I think that really, looking at it, you've done really well again. You've worked hard this time. The team that you got with the money you had to stay anywhere close to me, you've done bloody good.
Yeah.
And to win the Champions League in your first season, when you didn't spend any money that first season, did you?
Didn't buy one player, no. Just used what they already had.
So you had a good season.
I didn't do bad, but
and it goes to show
good.
money does help.
Yeah.
I did buy some really good players. I know I lost a couple of good players as well.
Yeah.
And it made it really hard for me. But
Vinicius Junior was one, wasn't it? We were scratching our heads then,
I didn't want to lose him at all. I could handle Benzema, but not him.
Yeah.
But
that was a difficult one.
I'm pleased with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just I didn't win the Champions League, but I'm pleased that I've done what I've done. So it goes to show that I can hold me own now.
Yeah, you can.
So
Fair
we've got to
play.
The next one, we've got to make it really interesting.
Yeah.
That it's going to be a little bit more difficult for both of us now, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean, we spoke about it. Should we say what we think we're going to plan? Because then maybe they can decide who they want on each one.
Yeah, right. That'd be a good
Yeah?
idea.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So the next one we're planning on doing is Benfica versus Porto. The reason for it is we've got quite a lot of Portuguese viewers from previous saves, and we've done no Portuguese rebuilds this year, so we thought it'd be a nice one to do. So whether you'd like to see Dad on one or me on one, let us know down in the comments section, as well as any other ideas for future ones. Yeah.
Who we do.
So Patreon members, you've got access to £209 million on Dad's side, and if you want to take on mine and try and reclaim that tile,
My challenge for my team.
25 million.
My challenge of my team then is going to be to win the Champions League, because I couldn't do it.
And mine is to get back that lead title, but you've only got £25 million to do it, and Lewandowski is probably...
He's going to go now, isn't he?
He's still around. He hasn't. He's not no plan, and he's still playing for Poland.
Yeah.
At age 38, he's loving it, isn't he? Bless him. But there we go. So page.com/Megaloot Gaming on the £5 tier. Should you wish to take this on, both of the save game files will be there.
And if
well,
you do,
there's only one save game file. I don't know why I'm saying that.
If you do take them on, let us know
Let
you
us know,
do.
yeah, down in the comments
Be interested
section.
to see if you do beat me.
Hope you really enjoyed this one. It was so much fun to do. We can't wait to start the Benfica versus Porto one. But if you haven't seen it yet, we did a lovely rebuild with Leicester recently, getting relegated. Check that out. It's on screen for you right now. Bye-bye. Today, it's Dad versus me, and it's going to be trying to rebuild Manchester United.
So here we go.
Yeah, quite fun.
Not going to be easy.
No. And obviously we've picked my team. You've already done one rebuild, which I assisted you with, which was the Spurs rebuild. Now, and you guys love that one, and a lot of you have said, why don't you do one against each other? Now, it's going to be very difficult, and what you will see is our facial hair changing, our clothes changing, because we're not going to be able to do it all in one
I ain't
day.
got enough time to do it all in one go.
No. So, obviously, with Dad not living with me, we're going to have to do it across the space of different weekends. God knows how long it's going to take us to do, but as a thank you, if you could smash a like and leave a lovely comment for the YouTube algorithm, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do. So, how we're going to do this? Obviously, I've got to help Dad because he doesn't really know all the buttons and everything of playing Football Manager. He knows what he wants to do with Manchester United.
It's just a case of really, I'm just asking Luke what I can do. He's telling me what I can do. Then I'm having goals at finding players, signing players, and selling players.
Show him your list. Show him. He came down with a list of all the players he wanted to sign, his short list and everything like that. He's done a lot of research into it.
Yeah.
That's how we're doing it. And then I'm going to do my side of the rebuild separately, and we'll react to it season by season for each of us. And then at the end, obviously, we can determine, right, who we think is the winner by who's done better. Yeah. Who made it 5 years? Who survived?
I'm going to say, it's my first time to take Man United, so as long as I don't get sacked, I think it's a result.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the transfers that you did make. Now, we had a lot of offers coming in the final day of the season, and you spent all of your budget, which is not a lot to begin with.
So the first season was very hard. I think it's I'm hoping not to get sacked the first season. I'm trying to set myself up for the second season.
We'll see. We've only done one rebuild with Man United first, and I got sacked on it. So on the outs, we did sell... We didn't sell people, did we? We sold Tom Heaton, but you loaned out a couple of players who will be sold. Victor Lindelof, Scott McTominay, Anthony Martial. All of them with mandatory future fees at the end of it, which gave us a little bit of money to spend on players. So who you brought in, first off, is a little bit controversial. Actually, this is very controversial because he's gone back to the well of what he did at Tottenham. You signed Kepa, the goalkeeper from Chelsea, as your first goalkeeper.
Well, I had a list of 4 keepers tonight, and I put in the price, and he was the main one that I could afford.
Yeah.
So hence why I did go for him, really.
So you signed for £12.5 million.
And I've made him my number one.
Yeah. And then your other signing, as I mentioned, gone back to the well. It's Tammy
This
Abraham.
was a last-minute signing with the money that I had available at the time.
Yeah.
And I knew I needed a striker.
Yeah.
I just wanted someone else to be up front, an out-and-out striker. He was the one I could afford. Again, the best one I could afford. And as it happened, it just happened to be the same one as I done with the Spurs.
Yeah.
But I got him, and I'm chuffed a bit to getting him, actually. I didn't think I'd get him this early.
No, he hasn't played a game yet because we literally signed him on deadline day. It's the 2nd of September here. We signed him £48.5 million, which was across instalments for Tammy Abraham from Roma. So that's the 2 signings. Now, the tactic that we've ended up with is not the tactic that Dad played throughout pre-season, or the the first few
4
games,
yeah.
because
5
you're going to see probably the reason why he's had to change to this tactic. But what we do have right now, Dad, talk us through it very quickly.
Well, obviously, I've kept my goalkeeper. I wanted to be my first choice keeper, and I've gone for 4 defenders. Casemiro, and I've made sure he's playing as right in front of my defenders. Then I want to play a 3 across the midfield with the 2 wing backs going up the wings, and I want to play an attacking midfielder, which will probably be Fernando, and then Abraham up top.
Bruno Fernandes.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then Tammy Abraham, of course, up top.
I've tried a couple of things with certain players in certain positions, and it just hasn't worked, or whatever.
No.
Rashford being up front on his own didn't work. First game it did. I beat Spurs.
Yeah.
I haven't won a game since.
So, schedule-wise, as we mentioned, we beat Spurs 6-4 in that game. Very entertaining game at Old Trafford. Would love to have seen that. But then it was 2 0-0 draws. 2 great games for Kepa.
Yeah.
7.3 in both of those games there, but against Liverpool as well. So you think that's not a bad result.
I was happy up to there. I thought about the Spurs Southampton game, and I thought, the draw against Liverpool, I'd take that. But then that was the one that killed me.
At Ellen Road, and then a loss to Leicester. Yeah. Unfortunately,
and I've got a real big game coming up now, and that's why I've changed my tactic now.
Man City is next.
Yeah.
Right, so before we see what I do in my first season, we're going to simulate Dad's season first. Let's see how he does. Well, that's a poor start to your campaign as United manager. 8th place.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, start of the season, I didn't have a very good start of the season at all. As you can see by that league positioning table up there, I went quite low in the league and just started pulling it back.
Yeah,
as the season was going.
15th.
Yeah, and I must admit, I felt I was going to get sacked at the time, but
you were in the top 4 at one stage. You pulled it back to the top 4.
And then just sort of
dropped off down to 8th place. I mean, I think your only saving grace is that like Chelsea finished lower than you, so it doesn't look as bad. But that is very poor. We can take a look at the league here. So you actually,
hello.
Does that mean it does? I think it does. Marcus Rashford, 21 goals, is your top scorer, but it's against Frankfurt as well.
Hey, you know what that means as well, don't you?
What?
I'm in the Champions League.
Yeah, that's what that meant. UEFA Champions League.
I just thought we were just thinking that we won something, didn't we?
You have won the Europa League. Extra time against Frankfurt.
Get in.
Right, okay. That would have been back-to-back for Frankfurt as well. They won it the season before, didn't they? Jadon Sancho got sent off in the 91st minute. Lissandro Martinez, Lecce, what a player he is. I absolutely love him. But Marcus Rashford missed a penalty in the 59th to get it done in the original 90.
Come on, Marcus.
But there we go. Right. So,
I'll take that.
Yeah,
that was a bad league positioning, but we stayed in the Champions League, so that helps me out, really.
Carabao Cup, you had a semi-final finish. Yeah, knocked out by Liverpool.
Did they win
Norwich in the final.
Did they win it? They must have gone on, didn't they?
Yeah,
sure. You're going to play Norwich.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa.
Timo Pukki, what a player. So that was 2 semi-finalists from the championship there.
Yeah.
Okay, who was getting your goals then? You have 40 goals from Marcus Rashford, 25 from Tammy Abraham. That's not as much as what I was expecting from Tammy, although that is a game in every goal every other game.
I would have put it the other way around. I thought it would have been the other way around.
Yeah, I agree. Bruno got yourself 12 assists. There was the top assist there. He was. So Christian Eriksen on 11. Jadon Sancho and Ante both got 10. Well, how much money did you have to spend? £63 million with 192k. It's not a lot.
Looking for a bit more than that.
No, well, there's no Qatari money here.
Yeah, I need a little bit of rebuilding here, don't I think?
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what you can do. I ain't doing you shit. So the pressure is on. Although you did finish in 8th place, that's bad. Europa League win means you managed to secure your job a little bit more.
I got a cup in the bag already, mate.
You got a cup in the bag. All right, I'll give you that. Now, transfer-wise, I made one move, and that was it. I brought in a striker because I think that is the one position Manchester United really need in right now. I didn't really get to do a lot in this transfer window at all, to be honest, so it's a little bit disappointing. But I brought in Gonzalo Ramos, young Portuguese, quite a realistic transfer as well. I think they're actually scouting him in real life. Very good for Benfica this season. He's been fantastic in real life. He scored 2 goals in 5 games for me already. He cost me £30 million. How are we lining up though? Well, my first year tactic is a little bit strange. It's kind of a 4-3-3, but instead of having a second centre midfielder here, I've got another winger. And instead, I've got an inverted wing back, which will hopefully run through this little gap here with Diego Dalot. Now, we've seen Trent actually doing something like that, haven't we, in real life? That's kind of the thing that he's doing.
Well, he does the run through, doesn't he? But then don't come back,
does he? Don't come back, yeah. So I want Martinez playing every single game here and not at left back where you like him.
Yeah.
Gonzalo Ramos I went in playing every single game up front, and Jadon Sancho every game on the wing here. And obviously we've got the likes of Anthony in front, Ericsson who can also play there, Sabitzer, etc, etc. Now, kicking things off, it's been a little bit ropey. I've beat all the good teams and I've lost against Southampton and Brentford 1-0 as well. But I beat Chelsea 3-0 my opening day. Rafa Varane got 2 goals to me. Tottenham, I beat them as well. Nice little win against Tottenham despite actually going behind in the 3rd minute. And then I stuffed Brighton 5-0.
That's a good result.
Yeah, Rafa Varane got a hat-trick. So, insane. I think Brighton are always terrible on Football Manager when they are being run by the computer. Yeah. When I run them, you know what happens. Yeah. Watch the series. But there we go. So our Champions League group is a little different to yours as well. Of course, we've got CFR Cluj, Zurich, and Poulsen. Should go through and win that. Would like to win it, obviously, the whole thing, because that's what you've done. But let's find out. Yep. Well, my first season was a lot better than yours in the league. Yeah, finishing in 3rd place, which, to be honest, is where I'd expect United to finish.
Which is interesting, really, because that means you're in the Champions League, and I'm in the Champions League because I won the Europa League.
Yeah, so which you keep bragging about. There's a long way to go in this.
All right. I've got to take advantage of what I can.
In mine, though, Everton got relegated, which I thought was quite strange, to be fair. No top goal scorers. We did have Christian Eriksen there on 13 assists, Bruno on 12.
Who's the leading goal scorer? Look.
Yeah, I know, weird, isn't it? Even Tony. But we got David De Gea with the most clean sheets, which that does surprise me, considering I had a big gaping hole in my midfield. Yeah. But I think the tactic did kind of work a little bit on how I wanted it to. But we're all waiting. Come on, how did I do? Oh, this is so close. So close.
At least you got to the final, man.
Yeah, I got to the final.
So we both got to the final in our first season.
Yeah, not bad at all, really, is it? Nope. I was beat by Arsenal. So, I mean, we faced 2 rather linking clubs in these finals. You beat Eintracht Frankfurt. I lost to Arsenal. So, 2-0, unfortunately. Thomas Partey and Jorginho with the goals. That's so annoying that I was that close.
I hate it when you lose to a team that's in your country as well. It's nothing worse, is it?
Yeah. So that's disappointing. But I got knocked down the 5th round by Everton, quarter-final of the Carabao Cup by Man City. So, my top scorer, Dad, was Rafa Varane. He got 26. It always reminds me of when Plymouth Argyle fans, when Graham Coughlin was a top scorer when we won the League 2 or League 1.
That was brilliant that season, wasn't it?
Mental.
He'd just come up for any corner and free kicks and that, and just got them all there.
Gonzalo Ramos, bit disappointed for me, only 23 goals. We did have a lot of assists from the likes of Ericsson and Jadon Sancho, so I don't know whether I will stick with this tactic. Maybe I'll tweak it a little bit because I want more goals really from my striker who's playing every single game. However, I've only got about £70 million, so I don't know, can't really remember your budget, but £76 million. Okay, so we've had a very busy transfer window. A lot of players out. Let's start off with some of them. Scott McTominay left, £22 million. That was part of their release clause.
Yeah, he didn't play very many times for me, so I was just trying to get some money into the kitty, really.
Didn't play at all because he was out on loan. Malacia was a surprise one for me. Yeah. Went to Sociedad for £20 million. Quite surprised you wanted to get rid of him.
I wanted to strengthen my defence, but central defence I wanted to really strengthen, really.
Yeah. We also sold Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side to Fulham.
I'm not a good lover of him, to be honest.
No.
I just think he's very... Alright, he's quick, but I just don't think he's good enough.
Not good on the ball, is he? He's got better, to be fair, in the last couple of months with Erik ten Hag. But the big signing, the shock player being sold, you're not going to believe it. As soon as the offer came in...
Club captain.
Bruno Fernandes. Yeah.
It was one of them where, if you'd asked me before would the transfer come in, would I sell him out as I've gone, definitely no. But when the offer came in, I thought, that's 2 good players I could buy there. So I sold him. Sorry. I know he's one of your favourites, club captain.
Don't bother me. We're against each other. This is fine.
I was just so interested in trying to get a really good centre defender in and possibly another midfield player in.
80 million.
Yeah.
With a bit of an add-on as well. I think it goes up to 96, their potential cost in total.
It was a lot of money. I could buy 2 good players for that. So that's what I was thinking of, really.
So let's take a look at the players you did sign then, because we started things off with a James Maddison
there you go.
purchase.
Good squad player in the right position position that I wanted it to be, the attacking midfielder as well. So that was where I started off, really.
Yeah.
I was really pleased with that.
You signed him before Bruno Fernandes' offer
yeah.
came in as well, so
Yeah.
you already had intentions for James Maddison. Then you wanted the right back, and you went with Fresneda. He goes to me, it was the good right back you signed in your Juve rebuild. I was like, oh yeah, there we go. So
he's only a young
one.
lad, so I was just thinking of really just getting him in. He looked good, so it was won a lot of well, say won a lot. It was quite a bit of money still, but
26.
it's I think it was a good buy.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an assist already off the bench in 4 appearances. Good average rating when he's come on. But there is more. Centre back, Pau Torres.
This is the way I was going for. Yeah, I did have a look at him beforehand. I mean, there was a few other players I tried to get, weren't there, and they just couldn't afford them. But I think value for money, I think this is a good buy.
Yeah, he tried getting the Arsenal centre back, and they were having none of it. William Saliba, they laughed us out of the building. Right, but there is 2 more signings and more money as well. Mason Mount was transfer listed.
Yeah.
60 million on add-ons as well.
I couldn't turn that down.
It's a lot of money, but Mason Mount.
Good player, I think. Good English player. Look at the positions he can play as well. And I'm looking to be more attacking as well. So I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, okay. Good deal. And then Ruben Neves. Signed a day later, £110 million for 2
I couldn't believe
midfielders.
when I seen his age that he was only 26.
He's been around for ages.
And he is such a good player. So I thought, right, he's a good player to have. Just sit in that middle and just defend everything and let the other boys do the work up front.
Yeah, I remember when he was captain for Porto at age 18. Quite special player.
So
those
I'm
are the
happy with
signings.
my field now. I think my midfield's really good. I've got a good attack inside. Put a new goalkeeper in last season. We've done well. So I'm quite happy with this, to be honest with you. I think it's a good squad. Yeah,
and you've changed formation. You've gone for a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
You were messing around with some things. You're going, how do I fit people in? And I was sat there thinking, don't help. And I just went, 4-2-3-1 would be obvious, Dad. You went, that's a good idea, that is.
And it worked, didn't it? Because we give Man City a stuffing at 4.
We have. We'll take a look at that now. So Tammy Abraham is your main striker. You got Martinez playing at left back, not Shaw, and not at left centre back. He is playing left back every single game.
I do class him as a proper left back. I know Man United are playing him as centre back at the moment, and he does well, but I think he's a better left back. So
all right,
there we go.
Fair enough. Schedule wise, then let's take a look. So we started things off with a loss to Chelsea. 93rd minute own goal and a 95th minute winner from Lukaku. That's very disappointing. Mason Mount did score though on his Premier League debut for Man United against the Silk Club. We lost the Super Cup to Man City 1-0, but then we got our revenge when we beat them 4-0 at Old Trafford. Not bad at all.
Yeah. The only result there that sort of really disappoints me was the Leicester one.
Again, another 95th minute.
Even though Tammy got an hat-trick there, which I was really pleased. A bit disappointed with that result. But,
definitely. But there we go.
Then the next result spoke for itself, 4-0.
4-0. Not bad at all. Your group then, you got Inter Milan, Sporting and Wolfsburg. So you've managed to survive in the Champions League. Managed to qualify for the Champions League.
I'd be very disappointed if I don't qualify into the knockout stages in that.
We'll see. Right. Well, let's simulate and see how you do. Well...
10 points.
You finish in first place. 10 points clear of Liverpool. I didn't expect that at all.
No, I'll be honest, I didn't know.
I mean, considering your first season down in 8th place, obviously you qualified for the Champions League.
Got to improve,
we'll give you that. You know, you won the Europa League, but champions
already? Look at my goal difference as well.
72 goal difference. Last season, your goal difference was 8 with 56 points. Now you're up to 89 points. An absolutely insane season. Tammy got you 43. You couldn't get him firing last season.
No.
And remember how much trouble we had pre-season with your tactic and how much you tried changing it.
Hey, look at Mason Mount as well, mate.
The top 3 assisters of the league.
There we go. What we brought him in for?
Unbelievable. Hey? I mean, how, by the way, how has Lissandro Martinez got 12 assists? You put him left back.
Yeah.
So that's a genius thing on your part there.
I just think that's where his position is. I think he's a better left back than he is a centre.
Not in real life he isn't.
Oh, I don't know.
Not in real life he isn't. Because else we're stuck with Maguire. Come on. But, all right, my hat's off to you. You've done exceptionally well there. That's absolutely incredible.
What was the 5 games I lost, just for curiosity then? Was it
Norwich. Tottenham.
Liverpool twice.
I mean, not a very good season then, really.
I'm not happy with that. Not happy with that.
You didn't score a goal against them.
No.
and then a 4-3 away loss at Stamford Bridge isn't too bad, really, in all things considered. That's an insane season. You drew 5 games as well. Both Everton games you drew. Leicester, Man City.
So I lost against Tottenham. Drew against Tottenham.
Yeah, could not beat Tottenham. Right, so that's favouritism of the road. That's match fixing, isn't it? Where did Tottenham finish? 13.
I know, that was bad, isn't it? That was bad.
West Brom came up. They went straight back down again, as they usually do.
And Burnley.
Other competitions. No, we already seen the Super Cup.
The Super Cup,
Semi-final of the FA Cup. Quarter-final of the Carabao Cup. Only the round of 16 of the Champions League. You got through the group, which is what you wanted to do.
I'm so disappointed, especially losing against them.
Yeah, I mean, you lost to Nice, who, ironically, the owners is also trying to buy Man United.
Yeah, they are,
as we're recording this. I mean, we don't know how long this is going to take
6-5 on aggregate, so it's 2 good games then, really.
Yeah, but that's a game you really should be winning, to be fair.
I'm disappointed there. That's probably my biggest disappointment there, really.
The group stage, then, you did go through as top. Inter Milan was second place. You both finished with the same amount of points. You beat them 3-1. You beat Sporting 4-0 and 2-0. And you lost 2 games to Wolfsburg and Inter Milan. So that's the reason why you got through. Your transfer budget for this summer, though, £71 million with a very good wage budget as well. Let's take a look at the goals and everything before we wrap up and start your next pre-season.
Get in, Tammy.
52 goals and 50 appearances, 26 for Marcus Rashford, 19 for Mason Mount, 14 for Madison. All
2 good
English.
boys there. 2 good boys there, or what?
I mean, you think 5 English players there, they're all your top scorers. Very rare that happens.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Now, I know you're going to be quite a fan of that as well, of like homegrown.
Yeah, I do prefer playing English players. I mean, that was the reason why I went for Mason Mount and Madison, really. I do like them, and they're Englishes, yeah.
Yeah, all right, okay then. Well, let's see what you can do in this next pre-season. Oh, wow, I had a big transfer window. I didn't have a lot of money, and I almost wasn't really bothered about spending that much, to be fair. And then I had some big offers come in. So I did sell Harry Maguire, who I wanted to sell.
We were all trying to sell him, weren't we?
I also sold Anthony Martial for £15 million as well, both to Atletico and PSG. But the big one that I let go was Bruno Fernandes. I had no intention whatsoever of selling him. I was like, no, rejected from about 60 million upwards. Then they came in with 100 million, and I literally just put in 150, and they already gave me the add-ons. 150, or else I'm not even interested. And they said yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. I thought I've got to take it.
Yeah,
because,
you got to take it.
He's 28. That's a lot of money to replace a lot of players.
It's probably the one player that in that team. Well, there's 2 players in that team that I reckon you wouldn't have sold, and he was one of them.
Yeah. I had no intention of selling him whatsoever. And then that came in, and I thought, okay, I'll have to. So to replace him, Dad, I brought in Federico Valverde, Real Madrid's Uruguayan midfielder. I think he's fantastic. What I like about him is he can literally play in so many different positions and still win man of the match. That's what I really like about him. And he's very similar on the game as well. There's not very many weaknesses he has on the game, and I like that. His pace acceleration is phenomenal. But I only paid £83 million for him, which I think is a steal considering I sold Bruno for 150. So for pretty much double the price. So not bad at all for Federico Valverde. I also managed to get in Conrad Lima on a free transfer. I really like this player. I really hope Manchester United make a move for that.
Look at the positions he can play in.
Exactly one of those roles again. I actually signed him with a thinking of maybe putting him right back.
Ooh.
Because obviously he's a centre mid, and with the tactic I'm running, that's the right back is a centre mid.
Where you're coming from,
But then I didn't, because I signed Vanderson, who honestly,
we like our Brazilians.
On the day that we're recording this, has literally just come out that Man United is interested in signing him, and I thought that's so weird that always happens. So it might have even happened by the time this comes out. But Vanderson, I signed him for £30 million. He's the first signing I actually made because I thought I need to replace a better right back. Well, I already had Conrad Lima signed, but he doesn't join the club because of the contract situation. I also got Marcel Sabitzer. I made that deal permanent. I thought that would be a good deal to make £17 million, and then the money obviously came in. That's when I went for Valverde, and then I decided, well, I can start improving other areas of the pitch. So I went and got Mark Gerhai in August as well. So I thought this is a good one for the future to sort of like play around with. Now that I've got rid of Maguire, he can fill in as well as Varane. £40 million from Crystal Palace. Thought that was a good signing. And then I replaced the goalkeeper with Diego Costa. Really good goalkeeper on this game. Great kicking, good passing, good at his feet, and that's exactly what Manchester United are looking for. That's probably what I would go for in Diego Costa, who I didn't know was part Switzerland. Who knew? No. But there we go. So tactically, I am running.
Ooh, you're going to put him right in, eh?
Oh, yes. So he goes in there. And the rest of it I've changed ever so slightly, as you can see again. Instead of having that right midfielder, we've got a Mazzala who will naturally go out to the right. But instead of having 2 right midfielders out there, I've got an advanced playmaker, and that is simply because Christian Eriksen better suited to be there, and I've got a lot of midfielders now. So that gives us better options there, and then the Vanderson then becomes pretty much just a bombing fullback, and everything else kind of stays the same, but this role's pushed up further forward as well.
Yeah.
So it is slightly different, but very much similarities to our first season tactic, and so far it has not been very good for me at all. We beat Palace 4-0 in the league, which is great, after just stealing the centre-back. Then we lost to Tottenham, I know. Beat Southampton, which I couldn't do last time. It was all the way around last time. And then I lost, to Manchester City 4-1. And I thought, oh, this is not going to be good. Our Champions League group, Inter Milan, Celtic, and Red Star. So that's not bad.
No, you'd be disappointed if you don't qualify, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we know that your second season was a first place finish in the league, so no pressure whatsoever, but only the round of 16 in the Champions League.
Hey!
So I think the only way I can actually outdo you...
2 seasons, won the league, won the Europa League.
The only way... You didn't let me finish. The only way I can outdo you is if I win the Champions League this season.
Yes.
If not, you're winning this race.
Yes.
So let's see how I do. Oh, okay, so I'm second place in the league.
So what was that?
Didn't quite beat you there. So we are 83
closest.
points, 9 points behind Liverpool, who had a fantastic season, to be fair to them. Yeah, Arsenal finishing in 3rd, Man City in 4th. That's unfortunate. But if I win the Champions League, I think that I'm still winning this race. And did I do it? No. Semi-final by Manchester City. Yeah, we were only talking about how it's really annoying. And it was actually an all-English final.
Three teams were in the semi-final of England. Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Where Man City won it. Real Madrid won it the season before. Man City win it this time, beating Liverpool 3-0 in the final. So even though Liverpool won the Premier League, they lost in the Champions League final 3-0. Bit of a hammer in there. 5th round by Tottenham in the FA Cup. Quarter-final by Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup. That's really frustrating.
They're a funny side, mate. They're Nottingham Forest.
But there we go. They got relegated this season as well, so that's really disappointing from my point of view. My top scorers, though, were Marcus Rashford with 28. Gonzalo Ramos, I gave him one more season as a chance as my lone striker, and he got 27, which isn't bad, to be fair, but he is wanted. I might cash in because PSG like giving me lots of money.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Jadon Sancho also had a good season, considering a lot of it he was playing off the bench.
It's quite funny, really, when you think of it, how much money PSG are chucking at winning the Champions League, and they still can't do it.
Yeah. It's
Even on FM, they can't
Facts.
do it.
Rafa Varane's had a bad season with only 13 goals, considering he was top scorer for me last time. But there we go. £18 million going into my 3rd summer window. So we'll see how you do in your 3rd summer and your 3rd season. And we'll come back to see how I do. Okay, we've done the pre-season for season number 3. And Dad sold Casemiro.
32 years of age, mate.
Yeah, but he's still Casemiro.
I know, yeah. I just felt really, for the price that I was offered, 37 million for a 32-year-old, sometimes you just got to take it, and hopefully you get a better player or an up-and-coming player or a same player of that stature in that position. So that's what I tried to do. I tried to get another player to put into that position and take the money because of his age.
You brought in 2 replacements for him.
Yeah.
Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle.
I do like him.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Yeah.
Is he a Casemiro type of player? Possibly not.
You got Neves as well there, haven't you? So I got the 2 there.
Yeah.
And they're both good at doing their job, aren't they? So I'm just thinking whether one goes forward, the other one to stay, and the other one goes forward, and they're both good at going forward as well. They'll both get your goals, but I think Bruno was the main one who'll just sit there, I think.
Okay.
Personally.
I mean, 85 million up front, 94 in potential add-ons, so it's a lot of money.
It's going to be a player there for the rest of the time I'm doing it, and for anybody else who takes over my team.
Definitely. And then your mate Højbjerg.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe how much I got him for. We had a sniff around him. We see how much I can get these central defenders for.
Yeah.
24 million, I just thought was a gift.
It was annoying, right, viewers? So he was up for 35, was it?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And so Dad went, can you put in a bid for him, please? So I pressed 35. He went, no, for 25. I went, oh, so I pulled out of the deal, skipped a day, went to him, and they had lowered his price to 24. I thought, that's never happened to me. So Dad got him for £24 million.
Good squad player to fit into that position if one of my boys get injured then, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, my attacking team, by going by goal average last season, I didn't have to touch.
No.
Or I sold my best midfielder with one of my best midfielders. I've replaced him with what I class as one excellent one and one really good squad. So now I'm happy with my midfield. And my other player that I've signed, I thought I'll just strengthen up my defence really, because they're getting a little bit old as well, aren't they?
Yeah, Varane is 31 now, and we've seen a bit of a decline, didn't we?
Yeah.
So you went and signed Caleb Okoli. Now there's a story as to why we signed Caleb Okoli, Dad. Not really for footballing purposes, although he's a very good player.
We looked at two players. They were both the same, weren't they, really?
Yeah.
And I just couldn't make my mind up which one I was going to go for. One was 21, one was 23, and I was swaying to the 21-year-old from Napoli. And then I just happened to look at his birthday. And his birthday for this guy is the same day as me, so I thought, that's it. There's an old one in it. That's the guy I got to sign. He's the same day as me.
Born on the 13th of July, just like my father, we have signed Caleb Okoli for that reason more than anything. £58 million. It's a good deal, to be fair. He's a very good centre-back on the game. Great physical attributes.
He's going to come. So. He's going to start getting better as well, I think.
Yeah. You also sold a couple of youngsters there. You got quite a lot of money for two youngsters there that we weren't ever going to use.
Yeah.
You're keeping the same tactic because you've just won the league. Why would you change it? And you're securing Abraham and Rashford, because when we did a quick pick 11, it put Rashford at top and Abraham was on the bench. So Dad wants to make sure that is starting line every single game.
He won the Golden Boot, didn't he, last season?
He did, in Europe as well.
Why would I put him anywhere else?
Exactly. So let's take a look at your schedule then. You've played in the Community Shield. You beat Chelsea 3-1.
Yes.
It's a good start. You then defeated Brighton 4-1.
Yeah.
Good start as well, with Bruno Guimaraes getting a goal in that one. But then, unfortunately, you lost at
This is where I'm a bit worried, because I've come up against two top teams, Liverpool and Man City, and lost both games.
And conceded
four goals in both games as well.
Yeah. But you did beat Norwich 2-0 after that one with a slightly rotated team, and then beat Villa after the Manchester City game. In the
winning the league again for the second time in a row is going to be the hardest challenge for me, I think. So I'm looking at, I want to improve in Europe. That's why I've strengthened my defence, strengthened my midfield again. So I'm hoping I'll improve a little bit better in Europe, get a little bit better there, and stay in the top 4.
Yeah.
So that's my challenge really to myself.
So you're now in the new league phase of the Champions League, and these are your fixtures. So this is the first time you're actually seeing this, to be fair.
Yeah.
But Milan and Celtic, the last two games, I always look at the last two, because that's always the decider usually, isn't it? But odds.
I'm looking at that.
Should be beating them.
Bayern Munich is possibly my hardest game.
Yeah.
I think I played them in a friendly, and I think I drew 2 each against them. So
we
know what it's all about already. Did we draw it? Yeah, 2 each.
2 each.
I mean, look at Sampdoria, beating Sampdoria 11-0. I mean, it's a bit silly, really, I think. But I'll take that anyway. So yeah, I'm quite confident with that.
All right then.
Yeah.
Let's simulate the third season and see how Dad gets on. So your third season has ended in a third place finish.
Well, I wanted to finish the top 4. I've got that. Bit disappointed.
Did you expect to be behind Spurs?
No.
I mean, it's Erik ten Hag who's the manager, which is quite funny, obviously.
Yeah.
That's hilarious that you took his job, he's gone to Spurs and beat you in the top 4 race. 4 points.
I mean, it all
behind.
depends. If I've won something else, like in a Europe competition, I'd be really happy. But you know,
Tammy's had the best season for the goals, 35.
Well,
he's also up there for the highest average rating with Mason Mount.
That was why I locked him in that position. I'll be silly not to have done that, really.
Yeah. Tony Cruz is at Liverpool, by the way. He's got the most assists for the league. Okay, you mentioned other competitions then. You mentioned how you wanted to do better in Europe. Obviously, you love the FA Cup. That would be a great win for you. How did you do? None of them. You got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, knocked out by Internazionale in the quarters.
So I've done better then. I got to the quarterfinals, so
5-4 in aggregate. You lost in that one. The final was won by Bayern Munich after extra time. They defeated Inter. So yeah, you were knocked out by the winners, who also knocked out Man City. So they went 2 for 2 against Manchester clubs there. In the other round, quarter-final of the FA Cup by Liverpool. That's quite frustrating. They went on and won it. And then 4th round of the Carabao by Brentford.
I mean, it is a cup that no one,
no one cares about.
I'll take a win in a cup.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go to a cup final.
Definitely.
So I'm disappointed with that.
So your squad, you got 49 goals from 50 games from Tammy. You got 27 goals and 21 assists from Marcus Rashford.
Really happy with that as well.
Yeah, those are the 2 that you secured in the position. There are also 2 players that are wanted, we can see there, by Real Madrid both times, and Tottenham.
They won't be going anywhere.
No, okay.
I mean, look at Mason Mount as well, at 19 goals.
19 goals. And I think he had the highest average rating. He did. He had the highest average rating for the season. I mean, slightly unhappy. He wants a new contract.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah, you're going to have to, I think.
Of course you do.
Jadon Sancho there with the 4th highest average rating. Good amount of goals and assists this season as well.
Like I said in the before the season started, my front line was just lethal.
Yeah.
I didn't want to change that.
No.
and I ain't going to change it. So.
We'll see then, because transfer-wise, you've only got £40 million with not that much of a wage budget either. So let's see what you can do in this 4th pre-season.
That's going to be hard, isn't it?
In the 3rd summer season, the likes of De Gea left the club. We've also got Scott McTominay leaving. He was a loan to buy option from Brighton there. Wan-Bissaka left because I've got about 3 right-backs now. Fernandes I sold for quite a lot of money as well. Palestri, I got rid of a lot of the youngsters that I think would never make it.
I tell you what is quite interesting as well is it looks like we've come into the Man United team and started just getting rid of the same sort of players, didn't we?
I mean, they're the obvious choices to get rid of.
The age comes into it as well, but there is a few players that you'd think.
It was the point where it's like, I know this is a competition against my dad. I need to sell anybody I have no intention of using. So the likes of Palestri and Aronson and Fernandes, who maybe if I was doing a series with Man United, I'd probably keep just in case.
Yeah.
They were like, no, see you later, son. But my first signing...
Well, I was ruthless, wasn't I?
Yeah, you was. Yeah, you were really bad. Benjamin Sesko was my first signing. Now, this guy's a monster, and I picked him up after only 1 season at Leipzig. He only got 11 goals, but I picked him up for £75 million. I've seen
4 goals in 5 games already.
Yeah, those physical attributes are insane. Very good off the ball. Exactly what I need for my side, and my scouts and my coaches rate him very highly. Oh, yeah. He is one for the future for sure. But I've also brought in another striker because you might see the reason why. Vitor Roque, Brazilian, very good player, only £19 million. I thought, why not take a gamble? I had the money there. There's not many players that you can get for the first team for around about that cost. He could be one that slots in every time we don't have an option like Benjamin Sesko. But Manuel Ugarte, so I signed Valverde last season, who was Uruguayan. Now I've got Ugarte, who's also Uruguayan. So they've gone to Edison Cavani and gone, what do you think of me signing for Man United? Do you think it's a good club? And he's gone, absolutely. Sign. And both of them have both come to me. So Ugate's very good as well. He comes from Sporting, £52 million. Whenever we need a good player, we always seem to go to Sporting and be like, who have you got for us? We'll take him. There he is. Manuel Ugarte has signed £52 million. So those are my signings this season in my 3rd summer. The transfers we can see here, the tactics, sorry, I've gone slightly back to where I was the first season, but instead of having another player here, I've popped him up top. So it's very similar, a couple of different player roles.
Very attacking, so I think that is.
Very attacking. This role here, very interested to see what happens there with Vanderson. But I've got 2 strikers now because I have got about 4 or 5 players you can play up there. Gonzalo Ramos, Benjamin Sesko, Rashford, who likes to play on the wing quite often, to be fair. Anthony and Vitor Roque can all play up front. So I've got options up there now that I can possibly use should I wish to. Schedule-wise, it's been a lot better for me. I've had some patchy seasons so far. If you remember rightly, my first 2 seasons was full of win-loss in both years. This one, only 1 draw. That was to Tottenham, unfortunately, after 88th minute Pedro Porro equaliser, but a 6-0 against Brighton, 2-0 against Fulham, 1-0 against Leeds, and a 4-0 against Newcastle. I'm barely conceding goals.
They're an hard side to beat Newcastle, though, isn't they?
Very
hard side.
Yes, they are, Dad, the Spurs fan who were 5-0 down after 22 minutes. Everybody was on Twitter asking me what I just had constant messages. What does your dad think?
You text me a couple of times. They all want to know how you're feeling.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Not very well. Right. I think it was on the 70th minute I decided to go out, so I went out.
My Champions League fixtures are a little bit more difficult. Atletico Madrid, Porto, Bayern, Inter. They're hard, but we'll see how we go. Let's see how I get on in my 3rd season. I won the league. So, if you think
7
about
points.
it, you finished 3rd. That first season, 8th place in the Europa League. You were saying it's a successful season. If that happened in real life, I'd be like, oh, bloody hell, that was awful. A 1st place after 2 top 4 finishes. I think we're on level ground now.
Well, we're not. Well, we really.
I think we are.
We've both won the Premier League, but I have won something else.
Okay, but you also
finished
in 8th.
I'm still 1 up at the moment, though.
You also finished in 8th.
Well, I
know as a Tottenham fan, you think 8th is a good thing.
I still won something, though, didn't I?
Okay. Benjamin Sesko scored 27 goals, but Gonzalo Ramos had the highest average rating with 13 assists. Jadon Sancho got 19 assists. I've had a very good season here indeed as manager of Manchester United. What could make it even better is another trophy. Runners-up of the Carabao Cup, quarter-final exit of the Champions League.
By Liverpool, another English side.
That's the same as where you got to.
Yeah.
But you were eliminated by Inter Milan. I was eliminated by Liverpool there. And I also got to the quarter-final of Tottenham. You just seemed to hate me in the FA Cup, by the way. That quarter-final was eliminated and Liverpool went on and won it. They beat Arsenal. So it was another all-English final there being played in Munich. I want to know who won the FA Cup, though. That was also won by Liverpool. So I stopped them from doing the treble.
Who beat you in the cup final then?
The cup final, I lost to Arsenal. So a bit of revenge there from Arsenal. Well, actually, no, they beat me in the Europa League final. So, yeah, no revenge there. Just devastating for me. The goals, though, was a lot better because 38 came from Sesko, 31 came from Gonzalo Ramos for 20 assists, 26 from Rashford, 22 from Vitor Roque, 22 from Varane, and 12 from Jadon Sancho. That is a huge amount of goals.
Yeah.
That is a lot of goals being scored from just those 6 players there. I'm very happy with that. And a lot of assists as well from each of them. So my tactic is very attacking.
Spot on.
I love it.
Yeah, spot on.
Okay, my transfer budget is low as tits, and I don't know why.
Why is that, then?
I have no idea. So my finances are a bit in the mud. Maybe that's something to do with it. But we've just won the Premier League, and you're only giving me that amount of
that's
money.
not on, is it?
So I'm
Come
a little
on.
bit fuming. I bet season 6 would be absolutely loads. Remember, Patreon members on the £5 tier, you'll get access to not only my rebuild, but Dad's rebuild as well. Maybe you can put them up against each other, or you just want to have a look at them on the £5 tier on MegaLukeGaming.com.
Have a go with both and let us know how you get on and see if you can do better than we do.
Patreon.com/MegaLukeGaming. One day I'll get the link right. Okay, on to Dad's Season 4. So, some weird transfers on the outs.
Yeah.
You raised quite a lot of money. Obviously, you didn't have a lot.
Henderson wasn't very happy.
Dean Henderson's gone to Rangers.
So I thought, well, I don't really want an unhappy second keeper.
Yeah.
I'll go out and get a young lad or something like that. So I was quite happy for him to go. Aaron Maguire, getting on now.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I mean, we all know I'm not a happy lover of Harry Maguire. Sort of.
Not
for
many
me,
people are.
No. So for me, it was a done deal. So to come in for him, I thought, yeah, get rid of him.
Yeah. This one I'm surprised with. Garnacho to Young Boys. Not
Yeah.
because you sold him, but because Young Boys had 35 million to spend on him.
But well, when that offer came up, I thought, well, if they're going to give me that type of money for it, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, because it was them and 2 Premier League clubs, and they didn't offer nowhere near the same amount. Finally, I mean, this one was out of the blue, wasn't it?
I was sniffing around a few other players in different positions, and this offer came up, which I thought, I don't really want to sell him, but how much they were offering me gave me an idea of someone else I could have gone for.
Yeah.
So I took a chance, and I took the money.
Yeah. Now, the reason for that, if we take a look at the signings on the in, first we've got the backup goalkeeper secured in Jose
I was happy with
Sa.
this. I do like him.
Yeah.
Good keeper in the Premier League,
yeah.
And he was happy to come and be a second keeper, so even better.
Then we had Lucas Hernandez, which was a centre-back / left-back option.
That was the position I was mainly trying to strengthen, wasn't it? So in centre defence, so good player, got him a good price.
But then the big one.
This was the boy I was after. This was. I tried 2 seasons. I looked at him at 2 seasons, didn't I? And I just couldn't afford him. And then when Sancho's offer came in, I thought that could just make the offer for Bellingham possible.
You wiggled it around.
Yeah.
£98 million was a release clause, which has been a release clause for, I think, from this season here. You were first.
I was looking at him. Yeah.
So the last 2 seasons.
I was fortunate as well because Liverpool were on his trail as well, and they were on his trail as well. So I had to get in quick, and that was why I took the Sancho money. I thought, take it, get in quick, and I got my lad, and I am absolutely chuffed with it.
Yeah, that's very good.
I mean, you look at my front 5 or 6 now, nearly all British players.
Yeah.
And what a team that is.
Yeah,
going
very
forward,
good.
we are really bad, really lethal.
Tactically, then we are looking at the same formation, of course, the same one that you won the league with.
Yeah.
But we've got Jude Bellingham nailed in this position here, Rashford on the left, Abraham up top. The rest, if we were to do pick without restriction best 11, it is pretty much those positions anyway. We just want to secure them in. Bruno Guimaraes, we've got Mason Mount, Anthony, Fresneda, Varane, Torres, Martinez, and Aretha Balaga, with the likes of Hernandez, Ruben Neves on the bench. You got good backups on the bench and everything like that. Obviously, we got James Maddison, who is transfer listed because you did try and get rid of him.
Yes, he wasn't very happy, if I remember rightly, and I thought, well, if you're not happy and I'm not playing you, I'll let you go. It could give me a big money to go for another player later on, so I stuck him on there. See what happened.
Didn't sell him in the end.
No,
but
didn't sell him. No.
There's still an option in the future.
Nothing good came in for him, so
no,
not going to chuck it away.
Premier League so far, then we are very higgledy-piggledy because we've beaten Brentford 5-0, Leicester 8-1, but then we've lost 2 away games,
it was
Liverpool and
same
City.
thing again, wasn't it? I played 2 top teams and lost both games again.
Yeah.
And I was a bit worried again. You know, all right, Brentford 5-0, you think, yes, get in. Leicester 8-1, you think, oh, we're on a run now.
Yeah.
And then you come up against the good sides and you're losing. It's just one of those things, isn't it?
Your Champions League fixtures are in as well, and I
Yeah.
think they're pretty much all winnable. Maybe the Bayern Munich be the difficult one.
I'd be very disappointed if I don't go through with that grip.
I agree. You definitely should be.
You looked at the last 2 games. My last 2 games are at home against 2 what I would class is quite comfortable sides to beat.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I thought I'd bring this up. Now, Dad really stretched the budget out because he's got 0 left in the transfer budget, and he's minus 219,000 there in the wage budget. I thought that would just be something to bring up, but there we go. Trying to bankrupt our club here. Okay, we'll simulate this 4th season. How does Dad do? 4th place finish. You've dropped down a position.
I'm still in the Champions League, that's the main, and I'm above Spurs this time. So.
Yeah.
But Man City, there, look, you know, when I lost that game, I knew it would be quite hard to beat them.
Definitely. So you had a bad run at the end as well. 3
Yeah, look,
draws
it
and a
just
loss.
chucked it away. Look. I mean, I don't think I wouldn't have caught Man City anyway.
No. So a bad result there at the end. Tammy Abraham, 33 goals, still second behind Erling Haaland, but Marcus Rashford had 29.
Yeah.
That's very high goals tally coming in for 2 players,
Yeah.
especially with Rashford playing out on the wing. Anthony and Rashford also had 15 assists each, which was the highest joint with Bernardo Silva. Very good there, very good.
I got no
record.
problems at all on my front line. I don't
No.
want to change it. Don't want to buy anybody else for that. So
Possibly just
Okay.
defensively.
yeah.
Let's take a look then. How did you do in the other
Come on.
competitions? Have we won anything? Oh, not again. Round of 16 again by Internazionale. Knocked out the 5th round by Crystal Palace and the 4th round by Middlesbrough. So
Middlesbrough,
who
that's
went on and
disappointing, isn't
won?
it?
That Crystal Palace actually won it and won. They beat Man City in the final. Very good from them.
Yeah.
The round of 16 though knocked out. That's a very similar result as well. 5-3.
Yeah.
I think it was 5-4 in
I think it was,
last
yeah.
season, something like that. But there we go. A lot
Disappointed
of
with
English
that.
teams knocked out this round. Liverpool, Newcastle, yourself, Man City and Spurs look like they've gone through. Rangers also knocked
Who
out.
went on and won it then?
Milan final, an all Milan final, and AC Milan picked up
It's
the win.
actually all Milan semi-final this year, isn't
It
it?
is, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be
It's
interesting.
going to be interesting, yeah.
Okay, so at the Santiago Bernabeu as well. Right, squad-wise then.
Who's playing home?
Don't know.
You got to think about that one, didn't you?
I didn't know what you was on about. That's why. 43 goals from Tammy Abraham in 55 games.
Pleased with that.
36 and 19 for Marcus Rashford.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, and Anthony even getting quite a high amount as well.
Yeah.
There. Really good stuff. Jude Bellingham on his first year, only 5 goals and 8 assists.
Hey, I'll take that.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Rashford's quite unhappy as well, unhappy about failing reaching the Champions League latter stages.
Rash, so am I, mate.
Yeah.
You know, join the club.
Technically, that's your job to do that. And there we go. So, what do you have to spend? Oh, you've been given a good one. 115 million. Usually, it's season 6 you get that type of money. We all know
Oh,
that.
season 6, they're going to give me like 250, isn't they?
Yeah, for you guys to take over both mine and Dad's saves. Right. Okay,
I mean,
then.
where would I strengthen? It's only going to be my defence, and I'm not going to strengthen my forward line. So
No.
that's what I got to be looking at.
You say that every time, and then somebody comes in with an offer, and you go, he does this, he goes, yeah, go on, I'll take that. And I'm like, hey. Out of nowhere it is, it really is. Right, okay, we'll see what happens then. In my 4th summer, I sold Gonzalo Ramos. Yeah.
Interesting.
£70 million. So I made a huge profit
Yeah.
on a player that I don't really think did that well for me, to be honest.
No.
I was a little bit disappointed with a couple of those
He's
seasons.
scored a few goals here, though.
Yeah, definitely. That last season was good.
Yeah.
But I thought I'll cash in when I can because there's a name that popped up on the transfer list of all places that I couldn't believe for the price as well, and I snatched it. And that was Rafael Leao for £36.5 million from my rivals, Man City.
Ooh.
God knows.
Yeah.
He only played 23 games last season, only coming off the bench 6 times and starting 17. So they didn't really favour him. I favoured him because he's phenomenal. I really like him. So I brought him straight away thinking that you're going to be a first team player and Gonzalo Ramos can leave if he wants. I also made £30 million off Shola Shoretire, and I also signed another midfielder in Alex Scott from Bristol City. As we know it, he had already made a move in this to Burnley, who got relegated. So I signed him for £36.5 million. Very good centre midfielder, can play in naturally 3 different positions through the midfield and on the right, which is 3 positions that I've been using. So I think it's a great addition. Plus he's English, of course, so it helps with the non-EU side of things for signing players, the homegrown side of things that you have to register players for. And he didn't even want that high of a wage as well, which is another attraction to me. Because the wages were getting ridiculous. So those are the signings that I made. I think they were very good signings, and tactically we're going with exactly the same as what we did season 3 because it won me the league, and I think
you'd be silly to come away from that.
I agree. And schedule-wise, it's done quite well for me again. Now, I did lose to Liverpool on penalties, but they scored in the 93rd minute for a penalty themselves to equalise, to take it to extra time, and it's only the Community Shield. I'm not that bothered by it. I did go and beat Spurs.
You beat Spurs this time.
Yeah, 3-2. I then also beat Chelsea 3-2, which was a nice little win as well. Then a 6-0 win against Stoke, and a 0-0 draw against Brighton, who I think I've played in the first part of the season, all 4 years so far. So there we go.
Usually hammer them.
Yeah. Now, I haven't been given my Champions League fixtures just yet, but I'd quite like to get to that at least semi-final position, because remember, we've done your 4th season. We know that you finished in 4th and only got to the round of 16. Now, yes, you have won one more trophy than me, but I think if I outdo you in this season
I'll be honest, I was disappointed with that season, really. I was pushing for the Champions League, really, when I... And I was a bit disappointed, really, but hey, that's the way it goes, isn't it?
Got caught short.
That's some good signings, but there we go.
Let's see how I do in season number 4. In my season number 4, I am the league champion again.
20 points.
By 20 points. I mean, even if like I had a bad season, I probably could have won the league here.
Yeah.
Because 71 points is very low now.
Your goal average has done it for you as well, and so your striking force that you've got now is just phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, and even none of them even got over 21 goals, which is mental. But yeah, we only lost 3 games. One was to Stoke. I mean, the 3 teams I lost: Stoke, Bournemouth, Forest. 2 of them went down. And Forest finished in 13th. So God knows how I've managed to do that. I drew 7 games, quite a lot of the teams that you'd expect me to. Couldn't beat Bournemouth this whole season. Bogey team, they went down as well. Hilarious. But there we go. Not a bad season. That means I've now overtaken you in this race, definitely, because that's another league title under my belt, as opposed to 1 league title and a Europa League, and obviously that 8th place finish, which you keep glossing over. But there we go. If I win another trophy here, that definitely puts me ahead. How have I done? Right, I've got 1. I've got 1 there, but I could have had another one. That's so annoying.
Yeah, the double there for the...
I was very close to a treble because semi-final. Semi-final.
Another English team again.
Yeah. I lost 3-0 in the first leg, 1-2-0 in the second. That's cost me. And Liverpool won against Real Madrid in the final. So that makes it 2 in a row for Liverpool there, which is annoying. 3 finals in a row as well for them. The runners-up at the FA Cup, I was beat by Brighton. Yeah. I thought it might have been...
Who you've just beaten on penalties in the semi-final.
As soon as I seen runner-up, I thought it would be Brighton because I seen that they were qualified for the EU or UAE. But I did win the Carabao Cup, and I beat Arsenal in the final there 2-0, which I think was exactly the same result but flipped the season before that. Nice! Now, goals-wise, 37 from Benjamin Sesko, 32 from Rashford, 25 from Varane again. He's booked his ideas, hasn't he? Age 33. Leao got 20 with 15 assists. Vitor Roque got 17 with 16 assists. Look at that for Jadon Sancho, 36 assists.
He was the top player for your assists, actually, in the whole league.
Absolutely insane. So I've had a very good season there.
Yeah.
Transfer-wise, I've been given £121 million for this final season.
So they brought it a season ahead, didn't they?
Yeah, come on, let's go. But I am losing Rafa Varane. Didn't want to sign a new deal, so we'll see.
At the end of the day, he's 33, isn't he? So, I mean, if it had been me, I'd have probably been selling him anyway.
Yeah.
So
5th and final season. Dad is in 2nd place right now. He needs to catch up. How does he do? So on the outs we have Luke Shaw and Rafa Varane leaving from the first team, and Jose Sa also left because he only had a 1-year deal and didn't want to renew it.
So he wasn't happy, which is a shame, really. I'd like to have kept him. So off you go.
It's one of your club visions at the minute that you can only offer a 1-year contract for players over the age of 32, which is the reason why it was only a 1-year deal. Unfortunately,
should be able to make an exception for a goalkeeper, though, shouldn't you? Really?
Yeah, it's a bit of pain in the ass, isn't it? Really, that's the case. But there we go.
Luke
Dan's
Shaw
made 2 signings.
Luke Shaw was another one I wanted to get rid of because he was old as well.
Yeah.
And Varane, what was he? 32,
33 now. Yeah.
He went on. I just didn't want to give him another contract at that age, so I let him go.
And
so
the replacements.
the defensive was the main area, wasn't it?
Yeah, so let's take a look then, because you made one big signing, but we'll take a look at the backup goalkeeper first. Yusufu. Faris Yusufu, again, it's just going to be a backup for that reason. £8.5 million from Schalke. He did play in the Bundesliga 2 last season, conceding 33 and 33, but did get 11 clean sheets. However, Dad went and bought an Arsenal centre-back.
I do like him. I think he's a good...
Controversial.
He's a good centre-back.
Yeah, 95
He wasn't available for sale, was he? And when I said to you, can you have a look at him? They won't sell him. And he'd been on loan to West Ham for the season. I thought, they will sell him.
Yeah.
If you give him the right price, they'll sell him.
That's it. The season before it, they have been playing in 26 starts.
Yeah.
But last season, he was loaned out, which does make me think. I wonder who they have signed, because they've obviously been playing Botman by the looks of it. And they've got Antonio Silva as well, who's very good. Alongside Saliba, you went and got him.
Yeah, I was quite happy with that.
Simeone, by the way, is at Arsenal. Your mate.
Yeah.
£95 million though. He has scored 2 goals already in his first 5 games, which is quite good.
There we go.
Tactically then, stays the same, and pretty much the only thing that we're changing is putting Gabriel in every single game.
Yeah.
How have we been doing so far though? Well, started off with 2 draws against Tottenham and Liverpool, 2-2. And a 1-1 against Liverpool at home.
If I remember rightly as well, both games I was leading as well.
Yeah.
So I was a bit disappointed with that. Harry Kane done me in the 51st minute. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed, but hey-oh.
Think you got 3 wins on the bounce.
I didn't lose, so that was the main thing.
Yeah. Crystal Palace at home, Norwich away, Southampton at home.
Good goal tally as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Your first game in the Champions League, though, is against the current holders, AC Milan. And you got Real Madrid in there, sprinkled in the middle.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, I think you should be fine.
I'll be disappointed again, and like you always say, looked at the last 2 games, I'm at home again. So
yeah.
I've definitely got to qualify for that.
I think you should be getting top 8 for that,
come
really.
on.
There we go. Right, final season then, to see how you do in this league campaign.
I want to get to a final.
Yeah.
Let me have something to jump about, you know?
And to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes of this, we haven't recorded any of my side of it yet. But when we come back to Dad's end of season, we would have seen what I have done and how I have done. So for a little bit of context right now, we have no idea, either of us, what I have done, how I have done, whether this is going to be close, whether one of us has won this by a landslide. But when you next see us, we would have done. Right, okay, let's simulate this 5th season. I actually sold Anthony to Tottenham. I thought you boys really needed a hand.
I'll take that.
So, there you go. I gave you Anthony. I lost a couple of other players as well. Obviously, Rafa Varane we mentioned, but Kobe Mainoo was another one that I sold for £17 million to Crystal Palace. But the few transfers that I made, I think this was easily my big summer. Ooh. And I waited because they were both playing at the World Cup.
You had the money this time, didn't you?
Yeah. I went for De Ligt as a centre-back option after losing Varane.
Yeah.
World-class centre-back. And I also went for Frankie de Jong.
Ooh.
As a world-class centre midfielder there. Picking him up from Barcelona for £95 million. I think that's definitely one of the world's best midfielders to put in that position after probably Casemiro's now got a little bit too old for me.
Yeah.
So it's nice considering you binned him off way before to say, all right, now Casemiro, you know, we've got you a guy who can do the legwork for you and you can play the cup games. I've also signed a youngster because obviously we've got loads of strikers and this guy came up and I still had enough budget. So Patreon members, if you do carry it on, let me know how Riarts gets on because I think he looks fantastic. To be honest, for £5 million, whatever I paid for him, looks insane. 18 years of age, from Argentina, 6'4". And I thought, Jesus Christ, like 14 heading, 17 flair, really good.
I think when you look at it though, when you look at the 2 signings that I've done and you've done, really, it goes to show the age gap between us, really. And it's going to be interesting to watch it as a full video as well because you can see the players that I've gone for are they're mainly British players, but they're sort of the players that are playing really well at the moment, and I know the players really well. Where you've gone for players that you need the knowledge
of football manager,
to know what players you want to get, what countries they're from, and and things like that. So I think it's really good and interesting the 2 teams.
Oh, definitely.
Different, really.
Yeah.
Really different.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the money me and you have spent. I mean, I've spent a lot of money as well as you. So you can't say I never had the money.
Yeah.
I did have the money to spend, and I sold a lot of players to get that money. But it was interesting with the players, especially the players that I really chased as well.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham, when I really chased him, I really wanted that player.
Yeah.
Because to me,
for seasons.
Yeah, it was the real one player that I really, really wanted, and I got him at the end. Where you were picking players out, and I'm sat here looking at him thinking, oh, he's a good player. Oh, he's a good player. And I do honestly generally think you've got a good team. Really good team.
Yeah. definitely. Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what the Football Manager fans who watch all your videos think of the two teams, really.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think like Dad's team is more of like a classical what a football fan would pick, and would you say it's a better looking at it team than what I've picked if it was a real life one?
Yeah.
Or would you say vice versa? Like my team would only be better in Football Manager. That's quite an interesting subject.
I think your team's definitely going to be better for the Patriots.
Patreon members, yeah,
definitely for them. To take over. Your team is by far the better team for that.
A lot of youngsters, I think, in there. I'm still sticking with the season 3 tactic. I've won the league with it twice, obviously. But yeah, if you look at my star players, it's like 23, 26. Like I've kept around quite a few youngsters.
That's consistent from you, though, isn't it? From when we do all our rebuilds, we always try and build that team where we're thinking years ahead.
Yeah,
where
definitely.
I didn't give a damn.
No.
I was trying to win this season.
No. So, how have I done this?
Oh, look at them greens, look. Oh, dear, I'm in trouble.
I've even chucked in an 8-2 win. 4-0 against Arsenal, 3-0 against Newcastle, 5-1. Come on.
It just goes to show this is realistic, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I only had 10 men. So there we go. 2-1 against Chelsea. I played all difficult teams there.
Yeah.
Champions League games have come in. Let's take a look at them as well. PSG, Atalanta, Celtic, Bayern, Inter Milan. That's quite hard. Ajax in the end one there. So yeah, not bad at all. So you're now relying on something big, because what I've done is replace 2 players who weren't that good for me with Frankie de Jong and De Ligt.
Yeah.
So good luck. Good luck. You really need
Final
to
season,
pull it
here we
out
go.
the bag.
I need to win the Premier League and the Champions League.
Yeah. Let's find out how Dad does right now. You finished in 2nd place.
It went down to the last game of the season, didn't it? Man City had to win the last game of the season.
Yeah.
My goal average was better.
They beat Southampton 4-1 away on the final day of the season, but you had a 55 goal difference there. So if they did lose, you would have won. All they needed was a draw, though. They managed to do it. Unfortunately, Tammy Abraham got 27 goals for you there, but he was the only one who was around in the player statistics, which probably cost you.
He didn't let me down really over the seasons that I had him there.
No.
I know I stuck with him being in that position, but it was a good signing for me, I think.
You only lost 1 game by more than 1 goal, which I think is quite a credit to you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you win titles, Dan,
West Ham,
unfortunately.
West
How
Ham.
you can save it, though, is if you win some cup competitions.
Come on.
This is what you need to happen.
I was all out for the Champions League, wasn't I? That's what I want for.
And did you do it? No.
Oh, no, look who I lost against.
Trophies. Tottenham in the quarterfinals.
Why did they beat me?
You from winning.
Oh no.
How did they get on in the final? Let's find out. In the final, it's Arsenal versus Liverpool in the final, so we haven't seen that being played out yet. So they actually lost to
knocked
Arsenal.
out by Spurs, though.
North London derby.
How did I get on the other competitions?
Semi-final in the FA Cup by Chelsea, which Liverpool beat Chelsea in the final, and the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup by Brighton.
I'd have took the FA Cup though. That's my favourite. I love that cup.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dad. 49 goals over Tammy. That's really good.
27
for Marcus Rashford, and Anthony there with a lot of assists. Fantastic for you. I think it's like really funny now looking on your team compared to mine.
Yeah, I ain't got many players, have I?
No, we both ain't got as many players because we've stripped it for the money, obviously. But it's just like weird to see how we've built different teams.
Yeah.
But the transfer budget for you Patreon members is £101 million, but a massive wage budget, so you could probably move it up to around about 130 should you wish. So on the patreon.com/MegaLukeGaming, you get access to Dads, but maybe you don't want to have a look at Dads. You want to take over mine because I've built the better side. Let's find out how I've done in my final season at Manchester United. Champions again. 3 seasons in a row I won the league. Only by 10 points this time round.
Yeah, only by
10 points, not by the 20 last time. And I didn't have another goal scorer above 20 goals. Even though Haaland got 43, they finished in 6th. That's mental, isn't it? But I did get a lot of assists again, and I had the highest clean sheet joint with Alisson. And somehow the Everton goalkeeper, who remember they were relegated in the first season, they've come back and managed to get the most clean sheets in the league. Fair enough. Okay, but that is fantastic. I only lost 6 games there. Liverpool, Leeds, Brighton, Arsenal, Blackburn, Leeds. Again, other competitions. We know I've already won this kind of rebuild. Did I manage to do the big one? Oh, joking me.
Hey, look at you. You nearly won everything though, mate. You were one game
away
from winning everything.
from winning a quadruple.
My word.
One game away. Extra time as well.
Against Real Madrid.
Extra time against
If you were
Real
going to put
Real
money, who
Madrid.
beat you? It would have been Real Madrid, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oyarzábal scored in the 118th minute. 2 minutes from going to penalties. And I lose after extra time. I feel more devastated than what I should be.
I'm just thinking to myself now, I've lost, but wow, what a season, mate, for your last season.
Yeah, that is incredible.
You know, if anybody came out with that, we'd be saying brilliant. And I've got to say it to you, mate, that is one hell of a season. Win the Premier League, win the 2 cups in England, and almost, well, you've got to the final of the Champions League.
So annoying from
well
a perfect
done, mate.
season. 6-2 against Liverpool there in the Carabao Cup. FA Cup 4-0 win against West Ham.
Yeah, you were just beating everybody for fun, really, weren't you?
It got to that point, because I think like Sesko scoring more goals than he started games, and like the substitutes coming off the bench are scoring 20 goals a season, so that's going to happen. Because Garnacho came back and scored. Like, I was not playing Garnacho. I loaned him out a couple of times. I didn't really mention it, but I loaned him out 2 seasons in a row. In the last 2 seasons, he's came and he's played. He started 14 games this season and he scored 16. He's done quite well there, considering the players that we have. He's started quite a few games. So there we go. I've got to say it. You put up a bit more of a fight than what I thought you would have. Considering Football Manager's not a game that you play, you just obviously watch.
Like I said earlier, I was just buying players that I knew. I haven't got the knowledge of chasing other players around.
That second season,
you helped me a couple of players where I was saying, well, what's he like? What's that like? Well,
yeah,
the one I bought for my birthday because he had the same birthday as me.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
like
you bought a player because he was born on the same day. Ridiculous. That second season where you threw a tactic together, after the pre-season was awful for you. You couldn't get it right.
No.
And then you won the league from it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand how that works, but there we go.
I think my last season was probably my best season.
Yeah, second place.
I think I've got all the players in that I actually wanted.
Yeah.
And then I really went for it, didn't I? And I was unfortunate. I lost the league on the last game of the season, and the Spurs knocking me in the semi, the quarterfinal.
Semis of the FA Cup as well by Chelsea.
That was my big season. That was when I was really going for it because I knew you were going to come up with something like that. So I'll take my off to mate. You've done well.
Yeah, that was very much enjoyable, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it took us a long time to do, as you're going to be able to tell probably by
our change of tears. So many times. Our clothes.
I think I've had an haircut since then as well. Yeah, so but I thoroughly enjoyed it. The days we come down here to do it, we've had a bit of fun, didn't we? A bit of a laugh. When you were having a go with who, you're going to sign him and you're going to sell him. I mean, Casemiro was probably the biggest.
When you saw Casemiro, I almost said we're not going to release this video.
For you then, who was your best signing?
I think. That's a good question. If I'm looking at it right now, it's probably Sesko because of the goals he scored.
Yeah.
Valverde every season was very good.
Yeah.
And he was my second signing. Yeah, my second season signing. That last season, he got 14 assists. I think he was a bit of a game changer, really. And what's quite weird is a little bit behind the curtain is my second pick. Before I knew I could get Valverde, I was going for Ugarte.
Yeah.
Because I seen how cheap he was. And then I was like, oh, hang on, I can go for Valverde if he wants to come to me. And he did. So that's the reason why I went for him. And then the third season, when I realised I need another midfielder, that's when I went back and got Ugarte. And he was a little bit more expensive, but still doable. But yeah, I mean, I've still got Casemiro, and he's still played 5 games. He's still quite good. It's just physically he's a little bit shot now. Yeah. But yeah, I think
I just cashed in on him, didn't I?
Yeah.
I had to, really.
I actually think my goalkeeper was one of the signings of the series, because I think your goalkeeper was never a world-class goalkeeper. It was just a reliable one in Kepa.
And that's why I went for it, because I managed to get him for a good price as well, didn't I?
Yeah.
You know, and it was
first season as well.
I just wanted to get a good keeper in that I knew would be a reliable keeper. Then that problem's taken away.
Yeah.
And I bought a couple of reserve keepers, during the few seasons that I was there. But I just got Kepa in because.
But I look, maybe Diogo Costa was my best signing, because if you look at those, like 16 clean sheets, 15 clean sheets, 13 clean sheets.
And that's what wins titles.
Definitely.
They all say about these keepers. I mean, I've been moaning for years about Lloris, and and that Newcastle game the other day was a prime example. I know the team didn't play well, but I thought Lloris got beaten a couple of times where I thought, no, a decent keeper should be saving a couple of them.
Yeah, definitely. But let us know your thoughts in the comments section. What team did you enjoy?
I'm going to go for Tommy Abraham is my top
Tommy Abraham?
Yeah, I mean, I got him.
He scored so many goals for you, didn't he?
I got him in the first season, didn't I think, if I remember rightly. And he scored. And I permanently put him in that position as well, didn't I? Because if you remember right, the first season, I sort of him and Rashford, I turning around. And
if you did a quick pick, it was putting Rashford in instead of Tammy, wasn't it?
So that's why I put Tammy in every time, didn't I? And he didn't let me down. So he had to be he had to be my best signing. But if you were going to say, really, you know, who was you most pleased about signing? And it was going to be Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
I chased him, like you said, I chased him every season, didn't I?
Yeah, every season it was, how much is Jude Bellingham this year? I was like, it's the same, because it's got a minimum fee release clause. I'm not going to let you get him any cheaper.
Well, that season I got him, I was trying to sell everybody I possibly could just to get enough money, and I knew how much money I needed, and I had to get it.
You would have sold my mum for him. She would have been gone. That would have been it. And my sister. They wouldn't be the
first time I've sold her for something.
The grandkids would have been gone and everything just to get Jude Bellingham in the door.
But I'm going to say this now. You, by far the best, mate. That was the best. I think out of all our rebuilds, that's the best you've ever done.
It might be. It could be, to be fair.
To win nearly everything, then it's got to be the best you've done.
Yeah.
So you had to come out with your best.
Yeah.
To beat.
And, do you know, right, a little bit again behind the curtain. I didn't know how I did until I recorded this.
No, he didn't.
Because I simulated it and then put my child to bed and then saved it without going into the actual competition screen. Went downstairs and Dad went, how did you get on then? I went, I don't know. So I didn't actually know until we recorded it. So that's fantastic.
So the next question is, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. You can do the challenge. You're the top man here. You do the challenge. What's the challenge for our guys to take over our teams?
A challenge then, if you take over Dad's, you've got to beat what I have done in Dad's rebuild.
Ooh, that's going to be hard.
So I've won 3 league titles.
Yeah.
No, I didn't win a Champions League. I won 3 league titles, an FA Cup, and 2 Carabao Cups. Yeah. Can you do better than that? And if you can win a Champions League, that's really good.
That's hard, yeah.
That is hard, but you've got an incredible team there.
I would say if you win the Champions League, that's got to be better than...
Definitely, yeah.
So
I think a Champions League counts as like at least 2 league titles, really, isn't it?
That's going to be hard, winning 3 league
titles. The money
titles.
on mine, by the way, is 145 million, so it's still good, but not amazing. But
so what's the challenge they take over your team?
If you take over mine, I think, to be fair...
There's only one thing they can do, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Champions League. It's got to be, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was so close to it. Try and get that Champions League win. But have fun with it. Let us know how you do, of course.
Yeah, come on. Have a go at it and let us know how you get on. We had so much fun. See if you can have fun with it as well.
Yeah, and as you know, obviously this took ages to do. So by all means, suggestions in the comments of what you do want to see. But don't bombard us with, you got to do this next, because it does take ages for us to record.
It took us over a month to do this.
If you want to see more like this, and the reception of it is amazing. You know, it does great for views, and you guys engage with it really well. We're smashing the like button, leaving those comments. Then by all means, we will start another one. But we need obviously a good idea to do, and we need time to do it. Yeah. So let us know down in the comments section.
Not that we won't do it because we've had so much fun doing it, haven't we?
Absolutely, yeah. It's just time to do it. So yeah, by all means, let us know in the comments. We'll see you next Monday for a bit more of a standard rebuild. But for now, we'll see you soon for another one. Bye-bye. Well, you finally got your wish. Today, Dad starts his first ever rebuild. And we can only do it with one club, of course.
Of course. Well, I'm not going to volunteer to do any other team, am I?
No.
I might do it further down the line. I might not. But this team is the team I'm definitely going to do it with.
So, we are here, day 1. We haven't picked our tactic or anything yet. So, we're going to go through. We'll set all that up. And we'll let you know. So, we have set up what you would like as your tactic, Dad. So do you want to go through and kind of explain your thinking here?
Yeah, I mean, Harry Kane to me is not an out-and-out striker now. As much as he is probably their leading goal scorer for so many seasons, I think Harry Kane now, people who watches Harry Kane now play, that's his role now. I think the number 10 role properly. So let's stick a boy in front of him who we think is going to be very aggressive, who will push onto the defenders, can make them make mistakes. You can't ask for a better striker than that.
Charleston, yeah.
So I'm quite happy with them 2 up front. Song on the left hand side, he's good at anything really. So he does run a lot. So I've put him in that position. He will help me up front, but he'll also help me in the midfield as well.
Good
so I'm
ball
happy with
progressor,
that.
Isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Then you got the centre midfield and your right midfield 2 players. I rate them 2 good signings this year, I think, that we've had. So I'm happy with them 2. The right side of midfielder, definitely bombing down the right, giving Harry Kane the 1-2s. Harry Kane is so good at receiving that ball, the little delicate little flicks that he gives and all that, or he holds on to the ball, then puts the ball through. Brilliant from our right midfielder to go through, or even Song on the other side.
Yeah.
And you've got to have your that one midfield player just sit there in front of the defence.
The screen, the anchor role, yeah.
And you couldn't ask for a better player. I think he's probably been Spurs' best player for probably 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
He's been with us since he come from Southampton. Probably made Ben Woodwell on that. Couldn't ask for a better player than doing that.
The only thing, Casemiro.
The only thing that annoys me with him sometimes is he gets the most amount of touches of a game, and it's because one player passed him and he just passes right back to him, and then he just moves to the pass him and he just passes, and it winds me up sometimes. But you can't ask for a better player to sit in front of your defense and just help them.
Yeah.
And he will put a foot in
Yeah.
when you need him to as well. So, but my biggest problem, I've always said to you, we are lethal going forward. We will be rubbish at the back, and my back four will show you that why I think we're lethal at the back.
Yeah.
Eric Dyer's gone.
Yeah.
Ben Davies is gone. That's my back four, preferably my back four that I would like to see play at this particular moment.
Yeah.
People might say, well, I'm putting Doherty in. Where's
Emerson Royale?
Emerson Royale. If you watch Emerson Royale play, he gives away silly free kicks.
Yeah.
When a player's out on the touchline, just jock him. Just leave him out there. Let the players get in behind you. No, woof, right through. He gives a free kick, and we can see goals then.
Yeah.
Don't we? So
out of this, you've picked this then, this kind of like a 4-4-2 with Harry Kane dropping off. What position are you looking to try and strengthen in this transfer window? Because you've got £26 million to start off with.
I'm going to go. I definitely want a really good central defender.
Yep.
Possibly to go with Romero.
Yep.
And I want a better goalkeeper.
So those are your two targets to begin with.
I've told you for years, that I do not like Lloris.
Hugo Lloris, yeah.
He is, I think, Spurs' weak point. And if you watch France in the World Cup, he did have a couple of good games, but every team who played against France, whenever they passed the ball back, they pressurised Lloris and he made mistakes.
Yeah, kicking the ball out of play instead
That's what he does for Spurs. He makes silly mistakes when he's under pressure. He's not good with his feet.
Yeah.
He's a good reaction goalkeeper, but I don't think he's a good keeper. I know he won the World Cup.
Modern day goalkeeper.
And I know he got to the final of the World Cup, but
yeah,
for me, I just want something. Give me something better, and I think Spurs would be better for it.
Okay, well, we're at the very start of pre-season now, so we're going to go through, make some transfers, and we'll bring you back before the start of the season. Okay, first bit of business you've done, Dad. We've sold Eric Dyer, £36 million in total.
Well, I had to, didn't I? I've slagged him off all season so far. I said he's not very good for us.
Gone.
Bye-bye.
Real Madrid, of all clubs, have picked him up. Quite a lot of money as well. And he's not going to be the only one who might be leaving the door. Emerson Royale, we've accepted a £21 million bid for him as well.
Another player I've slagged off. Bye-bye.
Yeah, which hopefully will give us a better transfer budget to bring in some players. Okay, so we got the Eric Dyer deal done. We also got the Emerson Royale deal done, £21 million. That gives you 94 transfers out.
Yep.
But we paid more than double in transfers in. First signing, and I think this might be a controversial one for the comment section, Kepa.
It's going to be in it.
Arrizabalaga.
Yeah, I do like this keeper. He's a bit arrogant, but I like that. And I do think he is a good keeper. Chelsea brought in another good keeper. Did the manager not like him? I don't know. I thought he was a good keeper before he put everyone in. So
well, Graham Potter seems to like Kepa a little bit more than Mendy, doesn't
that
it?
says a lot, doesn't it? So
yeah,
I jumped at him.
Yeah, we've seen his value and we went for him, and he's happy to be a backup as well. Dad liked the fact of that, and the fact that we'd only have to pay £13 million.
I mean, he would be my first choice, but we'll see as the game goes on, shall we?
Yeah, we looked through a lot of centre back options, as that was the secondary target of Dad's transfer summer that he wanted. And one guy, well, two players stood out, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
The first guy stood out. However, they wanted £41 million, which was Robin Lenormand.
Yeah.
The other player was Nathan Ake, but because of Manchester City being a competitive rival, they then tried to take the mick out of Dad and asked for £61 million.
Not happened.
Dad said no, and we ended up going for Eric Garcia, and I think you actually negotiated quite a good deal there for around about £30 million for a very similar player to Ake, just right foot instead of left.
I like this player as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good signing for us. Good, solid centre-back. And I think that's what we need.
And he's young as
well.
well.
I want him to do... That's even better, isn't it?
Yeah.
21. All I want him to do is just control that middle of the box.
Yeah.
And that's what he'll do for me.
Yeah, very good on the ball, and he has a great potential on the game as well.
Yeah.
For the price that you paid, just short of 30. Very good. And that left us with around about £28 million left. You wanted to fill in that right back row where we sold Emerson Royale. And as soon as we looked at right backs, you went, let's have a look at Matty Cash. And that is who we ended up with.
I think he's a good Aston Villa player. You know, if you watch the World Cup, showed you Mbappe was in his pocket.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And that was good enough for me.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a good player on the game.
But he's had a good start to the season, I think, and he is a good player. His work rate is tremendous. You've seen that in the World Cup. I think everybody's seen that. I do like him.
Yeah.
So like you said, as soon as I seen him, I wanted him.
You were on it. £25 million, and he's only 24 years of age. So for the rebuild, it'll be very good.
Business, that.
Because Dad is building you a squad that you can get on the Mega Luke Patreon channel.
I didn't want anybody above 29, did I?
No, you did. Yeah, we set our targets. Now, as it turns out, we've come back on the first game of the season. So there might be more transfers yet, but we had to come back for the first game of the season because it's against Manchester United.
I can't believe it. You couldn't write this, could you?
Now, we've got a suspension for Richarlison, so this is Dad's first 11.
Gutted. Yeah.
Yeah, so Son is going to play up front instead of the left.
The reason I've done that is because I wanted Harry Kane to stay in that position. I could have easily put Harry Kane up front and stay with a bit of formation than I had, but no, I want Harry Kane set in that position.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to be the only player that I'll say I definitely want in
that role the whole time.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll see how we get on the first game, and let's check it out. Okay, unfortunate. We have a 6th minute goal here by Bruno Fernandes, and that was the only goal of the game. He didn't even get a shot on target, unfortunately. We have got Heung-min coming back from an injury, so that could be our problem there. 3 bookings each. Thoughts, Dad?
Disappointed, but first game of the season, you just never know which way it's going to go, do you?
Yeah.
We're trying a couple of new players.
We're still working on the tactic as well.
Yeah.
Going fresh from a new tactic, so that's obviously going to play a part into it. Bringing in 3 brand new players into that first 11. Let's take a look at the goal and how it was scored by Bruno Fernandes. It was from an Eriksen free kick. Played all the way back post. We've got Jadon Sancho retrieving the ball. Back to Bruno Fernandes from that position. Fired in the bottom corner there. Well, we'll do the rest of the preseason and we'll join you just as we go to simulate the first season. Okay, so we settled on this as our tactic and formation, and these are the positions that we're going to be locking in as much as possible throughout the season, because when we do pick 11, it doesn't give the choice that Dad wants in that role, and the rest of them can kind of rotate as need be, but we want Heung-min really in that role and Højbjerg in that role as much as possible. We have played a few more games, including a North London derby. Let's take a look at the results. Dad's seen them as it happened. We had a 3-0 win against Fulham, which obviously kicked us off at the start of the season there after that defeat to Man United. But that one,
Harry Kane always scores against Arsenal.
90th minute win.
Get in.
For Harry Kane and his Spurs. Unfortunately, we didn't follow it up.
Yeah, a bit disappointed with that result.
Yeah, after being 1-0 up as well.
Yeah.
88th minute, Jefferson Lerma. Richarlison.
My boy goes to Everton and scores at Everton.
Yeah, after Bentancur got himself sent off after 17 minutes.
See, to me, that is a good result. Everton are not an easy side to beat, but being down to 10 men as well.
Yeah.
And my boy goes back to Everton and scores against them, and I bet he loved it.
A very interesting Champions League. We have Real Madrid, Red Bull Salzburg, and Club Brugge.
Not an easy draw.
No. Do you expect to go through?
Of course.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, then. Let's simulate Dad's first season as Tottenham Hotspur manager and see how we get on, if we still have a job. So your season result for the first season, a 5th place finish.
I'm happy with that one way and disappointed in another way.
That's exactly what I thought you would be like. So basically I ran this season and then we left, and I had seen it, saved it, and this is Dad's first reaction to it. So
it's the Arsenal result.
That's what I thought you would be. I thought position-wise you might be okay with that. It's just the clubs around you, you might not be.
I mean, I've missed out on the Champions League, but by missing it by Arsenal, same as what we've done to them this season. So
yeah, some big clubs gone down. Leeds and Crystal Palace. Maybe keep that in mind for players. For your season 2. Richarlison, you wanted him playing up front in that role. I think he's done you quite proud there with 26 goals. And Heung-min, Sonny Boy, your favourite there with 12 assists. So that's quite good. Obviously, Erling Haaland run away with it there. They got 85 points. Now, we don't normally always look at it, but sometimes we do. I was quite curious to see your reaction to this, because at one stage you were in the top 4 for a long time, and it does look like at that stage it was Arsenal who was catching you, and then eventually overtook into that spot.
Bad start, though, didn't they?
They definitely did.
They were on the catch up all the way through.
That was the case. Yeah, we dropped down a little bit, and at the end of the season we've got a little bit better there. Other competitions though, we were in a Carabao Cup, obviously the next round, and we've got that FA Cup, which we all know you love. How have we done? Quarter-final, 4th round.
Do you know I'm really pleased with that though? Quarter-final of the Champions League.
Yeah.
You can't be disappointed with that.
Only knocked out by Liverpool.
The biggest disappointment is being knocked out by a British team.
Yeah, so Carabao Cup 4th round by Man City. Liverpool went on and won it in an all
Man City.
in an all British final as well, or an English final there. So quite an interesting turn of events here.
I'll be honest with you, for my first season, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I am surprised as well, because we haven't, like, you know, the tactic, we've just built it, haven't we? We played around with it a little bit during pre-season, but that was basically it. So Harry Kane, this I thought is going to be your one disappointment. Not how many assists he got, because obviously it's hard to rectify, but maybe his performances in total, 23 goals and 8 assists.
Yeah, but the way I look at it is that the Premier League, good strikers are always in the 20s. We moved him from being the out-and-out striker back into play, so he's not going to be the out-and-out striker. So 23 goals from him, I'm still pleased with that.
That, though, was only 12 Premier League goals.
Right.
And 3 of them were, well, he took 3 penalties and scored 2 of them. Apparently, he's prone to missing one every now and then. But that's it. Anyway, so and Richarlison obviously is our top scorer with 30 there. We have a couple of players on 11. Kulusevski, of course, will be joining us as a permanent player. Heung-min Son with 11 and 13. I think you'll be quite pleased with that, with his performance and his output. We do have a few wanted signs. PSG in for Heung-min Son, who is 30. We've got a couple down here as well.
I was thinking about this last night, actually, and I was just thinking, because we've improved the defence, I felt. We brought a couple of players around there. I thought my next improvement place has got to be up front, really, because Harry Kane, what's he now? 29 there.
Yeah, he's 29.
Heung-min Son, 30. There's 2, you know, what all classes our best players are going to be out of.
They're going to be needing replacement by the end of this.
5-year plan, they're gone, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're going to be my next sort of like replacement of them too, really.
Well, before we skip to that part where we have done all that, transfer-wise, we do have £81 million. It's a good amount of money.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Dad can do.
Sell a couple of players as well. I mean, I've got 3 goalkeepers now. I only need 2.
Yep. Right.
We know who's going.
Let's see what happens in this pre-season then. One thing, by the way, we were just going in, diving into what went wrong and what didn't go wrong. What went well was we actually eliminated Barcelona from the round of 16 in the Champions League before we got eliminated.
I would say that was down to a home win as well, wasn't it? So
yeah.
We always put it down to our home wins, didn't we?
We had some wacky results. We were just going over and looking at it then. There was a period where we lose 4-1 to Man City in the Cup, but then we beat Brentford 7-0, then beat Man City 3-1, but then we lose silly games like West Ham and Arsenal here. So that is our problem, really. We're, you know, there's a string of results around here where we lose to Southampton and Wolves we get battered, but then we beat Newcastle and Chelsea the next month.
Yeah. I think we lost to Southampton twice, didn't we?
Yeah, so it's just some bad results like there and there.
Oh no, that's just cost us that 4th spot, really. It's cost me, innit?
Yeah, Wolves done the double over us in the Premier League, and Villa did as well. So it's those types of games against the mid-table sides that we're not winning, whereas the big clubs, we are beating. But okay, that's something to rectify. Okay, so we have got to the start of the second season. Let's talk about the transfers that we have done this pre-season. Transfers out, Dad. We've got a couple going out here to PSV, both Sessegnon and Tanganga.
They were squad players, so I needed a bit of cash. I wanted to buy a couple of good players. So I went through the squad, and there's a few there that was obviously getting to the age that I didn't want them to be in the team, as well as just squad players that I thought I might not use. So.
Absolutely. Joe Rodon was another one of that, another £13 million added to the pot.
Yeah.
And we actually sold Hugo Lloris as well on the first day of July. He went to Real Sociedad, £2.5 million.
Anybody who knows me knows that's not going to be a surprise.
That is not a surprise, definitely not. And that was the only sells of the club, but we did bring in quite a few players. Now, let's talk about the big one.
Yeah.
It was our first one that we made, Tammy Abraham. What's your thoughts?
He came up for sale. Well, he was interested in coming, so I had to go for him.
Yeah.
Good striker. Prove it in Italy the last season.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that Roma took him.
Yeah.
From Chelsea, so let's get him back in London.
Absolutely.
Working with Harry Kane, he's a big boy, isn't he?
Yeah. 25 years of age as well. That played a factor, didn't it? Knowing that he would be around for a long time.
When we was doing the transfers, I said to you, I didn't want anybody above 29.
Yeah. He only played 22 games last season, but he did score 9 goals. He's got 2 for us so far in 4 appearances. £70 million is what we paid for him. It was your big chunk of your budget.
It was worth it, though, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a good decision. The other signings that we made then. So we also brought in Jack Harrison awesome. We
Well,
went
Leeds,
and looked at the relegated clubs.
That's right.
That's what
Leeds
you wanted to do.
Leeds got relegated, and as soon as we found out the Leeds got relegated, he was one player that we earmarked that we sort of thought, let's see if we can get him.
Yeah.
And he was interested, so we got him.
Yeah.
Good midfield
We
player.
fought off a couple of other Premier League players for his signature as well.
You got to have a good squad around you as well. He may not start every game, but he'll be there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
The fact that he played on both wings also played a factor in your decision as well, didn't
definitely,
it?
yeah.
But we also managed to get another winger in Marcus Thuram on a free transfer.
When we seen it, we didn't believe it, did we? So we just offered him a contract, and he snapped us up.
Exactly. 6'4", the son of Lilian Thuram, can play up front as well as the left-hand side as a natural position.
Another reason why we took him as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And then the final signing was Matteo Gabbia. Obviously, Kulusevski was already at the club. That was already a done deal.
Yeah.
Gabbia from AC Milan.
We got two good central defenders at the moment,
Yeah.
but I wanted another one just in case one of them got injured.
Yeah,
And
he's very good.
As you know, and a lot of the viewers know, I always say it, I do like my Italian defenders.
Yep, definitely. So we went to AC Milan and we didn't offer them that much money, £10.5 million. I think you got a bit of a bargain there, to be fair. So we did spend quite a lot of money and we still had £9 million left, but we felt like the squad was good enough. We did try and get rid of a lot of the loan players coming in, but unfortunately, Ndombele is a player that just kept rejecting contracts, as we can see here for Fulham with mandatory fees in, so we couldn't get rid of him. Lo Celso is still at the club. We've got Reguilon and Udogie coming into the club, as well as the previous left backs that we already have. But Ben Davies has left on loan with a deal to go as a permanent deal as well, isn't it? So that's another one that will be out the door. Right, now talk to me about your tactic, because Dad wanted to change the tactic, the shape.
Yeah.
We changed it certainly different up until the game before this. Results might have changed Dad's mind.
It did a bit,
what
didn't
happened.
it?
Yeah.
I went for quite an attacking formation, didn't I? And I got hammered by Arsenal. So put me back in my seat back. So I've dropped Harry back into the same position again, because I did start him off as the main striker.
Yeah.
And with two players around him, so I've just gone for Abraham up front again, and we're going to put him on near post for corners.
Near post corners, yeah.
Because of his height and that. So we've gone for him as our out-and-out striker with a high pressing tactic for him. Kane supplying him, and then I've sort of dropped it back in midfield a bit more.
Yeah.
And dropped my centre back, wide backs.
We dropped the defensive line.
Yeah, we dropped that back a bit more.
Yeah. So originally we had these two up as wing backs higher, and we also had Kane as a secondary striker here. Well, in this centre, wasn't it, with Tammy Abraham on the right-hand side. It worked well for a couple of games, not so well in the last couple of games. So this is what we're going to go with the season 4. So let's take a look at the schedule then and see how it went. It worked very well for the Brentford game, a 4-1 victory
and
there.
all the friendlies we played as well.
All the friendlies did really well too, yeah. Real Madrid 6-3 there.
Man City, well, it's going to be one of them that you think, we scored 2 goals, all right, one of them I think was an own goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
4-2, I thought, well, all right, you take it. Then we had the Chelsea result, and we were happy with that.
Yeah, because it was only a penalty that we conceded as well, Lukaku.
But the Arsenal knocked me back a bit. I don't like losing against Arsenal, so hey, there we go.
3 away games was a little bit harsh, I felt, with those 3 games.
Yeah. But no, I've settled it down a bit. Hopefully we'll do well again. Quite happy with the Europa League draw as well. I'll be disappointed if we don't go through on that.
Definitely, Rennes, Partizan and Boleslav. We should go through with that. So, let's see how we do. We're going to simulate Dad's second season as Spurs manager. Season number 2 end. 4th place.
Are we 1 place higher?
Yeah.
Than the Arsenal.
Only just been overtaken as well by Man United there in 3rd place. So the tally actually is quite high. 75, and you had 3 losses in the last, and one of them was United, so that put them in striking range of you. And then the loss to Everton, where they've won a match,
so I could have come third in.
Yeah, but the top 5 would have guaranteed Champions League football anyway. It does look like Chelsea have won the Europa League, so it means that the English sides have had 6
That means I didn't win the Europa League.
You didn't. No, you didn't.
I was doing so well in the first couple of games that I've seen. We were doing so well.
So let's take a look. Oh, well, actually, before that, we'll go and have a look, see if we got any goal scorers or anything like that in the league. So we've got Tammy Abraham, 21. So he's only 2 behind Duvan Zapata, which is good. Heung-min Son got 16 assists. Harry Kane got 13. That's what you wanted to see, wasn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
So that's fantastic.
The biggest surprise there is Erling Haaland not being leading goal scorer.
Yeah, only 22.
Yeah.
I think last season he had like 40 odd, so
I think he did,
A massive drop off, and yet they still won the league as well by 5 points above Liverpool.
What was my goal difference?
Your goal difference says 28.
I watched the first couple of games that we've got to, because you've got to go up to the transfer window, and I was conceding a lot of goals.
Well, you scored the second highest, only one beyond Liverpool. But fewest conceded. I very much doubt you're not even in the top 8.
Not going to be there nowhere near that.
So you're probably second now, 12. So you're conceding more, but you're scoring a lot, and that's a good sign in a way, because you'd rather it be like that than like struggling to score.
I bought the players to do that, didn't I? And I set up the formation to do that as well. So
okay, competitions then. We probably know we haven't won Europa League. Quarter-final exit by Chelsea, but it was a 5th round
side.
Yeah, by Brighton.
That's bad
in the FA Cup. 3rd round by Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. We'll look at statistics then before we kind of evaluate what we've got to do next season. We've got 37 goals from Tammy Abraham and 30 from Harry Kane.
Really pleased with that.
I think that's fantastic. I think, we can kind of say
69 goals by my two main
you've
strikers.
made a great decision there with the tactical change at the end of that pre-season, because we weren't getting those numbers beforehand.
Nowhere near
with them both up front. So dropping Harry Kane, I think, was a smart decision from you, because not only did he get 17 assists, but that 30 goal tally is high. So that's really good for the tactic in that regard. But statistically, really good at an 18 as well. Heung-min Son, 14 and 24 assists.
12.
Yeah, so
5
really
players
good
in double
there.
figures.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's nearly, for a team to win a league, you need that.
Yeah. So money-wise then, what are they giving us next season? Let's take a look. £80 million again with a good wage budget. So that's good. We're losing Davinson Sanchez.
I'm going to be honest with you
a deal.
now. I'm happy with that, because I think I'm only 1 or 2 players away now.
I think you are as well.
We've bought wisely.
Yeah.
For the first 2 seasons. Now I've just got to buy certain positions and improve certain areas.
Yeah, and I think your squad's good enough now that you don't have to worry about filling in the substitute positions.
Bought quite a few young players as well, didn't we? So,
so I think now it's a case of improving the first 11.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Okay, let's see what we do then across the summer. Right, Dad, what a transfer window we have just had. Let's start with the biggest shock, I think, for everybody. You sold Heung-min Son.
My favourite Spurs player as well, isn't it? Well, one of them, should I say. But he was 30.
Yeah, 32
well, 32 now. So cash in while you can, I think.
Yeah, and I think you did just that, because when we offered him out, there was 2 clubs that come in, Real Madrid and Barcelona. £40 million Real Madrid offered.
Couldn't turn it down, could I?
Couldn't turn it down.
When you think of the strikers that I bought last season, I've still got 2 good strikers with Harry Kane sat in the same position where Son could sit. So
yeah, and we actually removed the position that Heung-min Son can play, but we'll talk about that in a second when we look at the formation. Other players have gone out. Ben Davies, 70 million. That was a deal that was done last season. Jed Spence, an extra £7 million.
Didn't use him, did we? So
no. Ndombele, and I believe there was some more. Brian Gill, £24 million was a really good deal.
He was one player I was in and out whether to keep because of his age as well, and he is a good player.
Yeah. But
I just didn't use him last season, and I thought, well, the way I look at it, it's a shame to keep him when I'm not using him. So
yeah,
let him go to boy. 24 million and help me buy someone else that I really needed.
Exactly. So let's look at the players that come in there. Now, first off, we recognised we needed a backup goalkeeper, so we brought in Nathan Baxter.
Two reserve keepers will go in, so I needed one. Good young 25-year-old boy coming through.
Yeah.
No brainer.
Homegrown as well, so that counts for something. And then you highlighted to me that you wanted to go for a better right back.
Yeah.
And we recognised one of the best on the game.
Yeah. I mean, at that price, was it 39 million?
Yeah.
I thought it was a giveaway, really, for that price. An outstanding right back. So,
yeah, an attacking one as well.
Yeah,
Pedro Porro.
In the formation I wanted to play, he fitted in perfect.
Yep, definitely.
Really pleased with getting him.
Then we went big, and you went for Urian Timber.
Yeah, this was my main position that I wanted to fit. That player that just sits in front of the back four, but also could drop into the back four. And you can see by his positions, he's a centre back, he's a defending midfield player, but he can also play right back as well.
Yeah.
Ideal squad player.
Well, £65 million from Ajax. Yeah. Really good deal. We almost got Enzo Fernandez. So that was your first target, wasn't it? As a CDM was Enzo Fernandez, because he was like £20 million cheaper.
Yeah.
But he rejected us and went to Liverpool instead.
I was a bit disappointed, but I'm happy with this one.
Definitely. He's younger, obviously, a little bit more better fitted to us. So that was the final signing in June. Then we moved over to July, and we recognised that you wanted to change formation and go with 3 at the back, which meant that we could potentially have a little bit of money left to go for another CDM. That's why you went with Eduardo Camavinga.
Yeah, and he's solely just for that centre midfield area.
Yeah.
As you can see his positions, he can be a proper centre midfield or the defending centre midfield.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted.
Absolutely.
Someone just to sit in that area and defend. I conceded too many goals last season.
Yeah.
I wanted to block it up a bit.
Well, let's look at what we changed to. So Dad guided me through what he wanted for the team to look like, and this is what we ended up with. So it's a 3 at the back.
2 hours of missed sleep off tonight.
So it's kind of like a 3-5-2, but one dropping off.
Yeah.
And obviously in the 5, it's instead of wingers, it's wing backs, and we've got a defending one on one side, an attacking complete wing back on the other with Pedro Porro, because we know how good he is attacking.
Yep.
So, and obviously we got Harry Kane dropping off on the left hand side instead of the right last season. Ignore this, by the way. This is just the team that we had playing in the last game, because we've been picking the club, the players to play each time. It won't look like that when we simulate. But yeah, talk to me through the roles.
Well, I wanted to do the 5 defending players really. So
Yeah.
3 there at the back with the 2 wide boys and that centre defending midfielder right in front of my 3.
Yeah.
I just wanted and bring it in a bit narrower, but obviously, like you say, Perro going up the wing just to give a bit more support in the midfield. We watched the first couple of games up to the 31st of August, and I just noticed we were just conceding goals. All right, we won a couple, but it was like 4-2, 4-3.
This was last season.
Yeah, last season. I wanted to get rid of that. So this is the formation I've come up with. So I've made it a bit more narrower, a bit more defensive, but we still got the 2 quick boys up front.
Yeah.
With a midfielder doing box to box right behind them.
Yeah.
So that was the idea I had, and it was getting the players in to do that role. I already had 2 centre defenders that I was really happy with, Garcia and Romero.
Yeah.
Just needed another one to fit into there.
Yeah.
Like we say, Timber was the obvious choice.
Yeah, and what's good about the Timber sign is that he can play in that role perfectly. Yeah. And you've got Gabbia, who can then drop in at centre back.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite good. And if anyone of during during the start of the season that we've just had, we didn't have 2 midfielders for the first 3 games, did we?
No.
But we didn't feel like we were overrun with not being able to have enough players.
No,
we still
right.
had enough players.
Yeah.
So I think your squad depth is actually quite impressive here.
And what I was really happy with as well, the players I'm bringing in are still in their early 20s.
Yes.
So I've got rid of a couple of the older players. Or I didn't really want to get rid of them, but I had to. But brought in some really young players. So I'm building a good squad for whoever's going to take over from me.
Patreon members when they take over Dad's team. Okay, so schedule-wise then,
so we can
Liverpool.
see we've done really well up.
We didn't concede hardly any goals at all.
When you see Liverpool's results after that, that's a hell of a result for us.
Absolutely. Then a 1-0 against Southampton.
Didn't concede another goal.
2-0 against Newcastle.
Hell of a result at Newcastle. Didn't concede a goal.
Only bad result that we had here.
Didn't lose against Arsenal.
That'll be against Arsenal.
Oh yeah, the one game I really wanted to win, but
the only game you actually conceded a goal in.
Yeah. So
and then a 1-0 win against Bournemouth.
I'm happy to win 1-0 every game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm quite happy to do the Arsenal role.
We also go to Heung-min Son because we play Real Madrid in the Champions League, as well as Atalanta, Juve, Dinamo, Leipzig, Ajax. So that's going to be a nice game for Timber, Dortmund, and Slavia Prague.
I'll be disappointed if I don't get into the top
knockouts,
30,
the top 8.
Oh, top 8.
Right. Where you don't have to play the playoff role. Okay then, let's simulate this 3rd season and see how we get on. Okay, 3rd season. It's an 8th place finish.
Oh, I can't believe that. I felt so confident with that bloody team that we set up then. Seeing the first few results as well, not conceding very many goals. I thought I was going to do really well then.
I mean, there are some surprises in there. Leicester, Brentford, and obviously Newcastle have come into their own. We are 10 points away from them, and we're almost, I think, we're more than 10 points away from our total last season, which was 75. So we're 15 points away. That is a bad year, unfortunately, Dad.
Yeah.
60 points, 1 point off of some kind of European spots.
Surprised I didn't get sacked with that. I'm missing the European spot.
Well, I think your performance maybe in the last couple of seasons has actually saved yourself. Erling Haaland got 49 this year.
What a difference from last season, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. He's come out of nowhere there. Okay, and we got nobody above 20. That's a problem for us. Other competitions then, how have we done? It is a round of 16 by Arsenal. Again, it's an English club in the Champions League. 5th round by Birmingham. Semi-final of the Carabao Cup by Man United. It's poor. It does look like we finished in the top 8 as well, and Arsenal still eliminated us because I don't think if we look at the league phase, yeah, we are second. Only behind Sevilla in the Champions League. That's going to throw up some weird teams, I think, in this competition.
We have Real Madrid in that round as well, don't we? So
yeah.
We've done better than them as well.
We beat Real Madrid 3-0. Away from home, 3-0. We beat Juventus 4-2. It's a very weird occasion. We lost to Borussia Dortmund 3-0 there, and we drew 0-0 with Atalanta.
Some good results in there, but disappointing season.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised in that Premier League because we started off quite well.
Yeah,
so
we did, didn't we?
I'm guessing then, past positions, did we drop off at some point? Okay. So it looks like mid-table, and then we just kind of just teetered off, and I guess just didn't really do much. Schedule-wise, will tell us a little bit more about it. So in December, we had a bit of a bad year. We had a couple of bad losses there in October against Leicester and Brentford, and then December. The end of December was quite bad, and start of January.
Southampton, Brentford, Leicester.
Yeah.
No, not Leicester, Man United.
Some bad results. Too many draws in February and March as well.
That's what cost me there.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see the goals then. So obviously we're not scoring as many as what we had before. Richarlison was the top scorer with 27. So it looks like Richarlison and Tammy Abraham rotated the starting 11 striker role.
Which is what I wanted them to do.
Nowhere near the amount of goals from Harry Kane or assists compared to what it was in the season before that. So that's not good.
No.
Money-wise, they are giving us 36 million. So it's a lot less than what we had previously.
I don't need to buy a lot of players, though.
Yeah.
1 or 2 players I think I need to buy.
Yeah, you're losing a left-back in Reguilon.
Possibly sell 1 or 2 players, and I'm afraid Harry Kane might be one of them.
Oh!
Already got it in my mind. Harry Kane might be one of them.
All right, okay then. Well, we'll do another pre-season, and we'll get back to you and see if Harry Kane is still wearing a Spurs shirt or not. It happened.
32.
32 years of age. We sold Harry Kane to PSG. I mean, he's on better wages there. He's 300k, but how much did we get for him? The question is... I actually think he did quite well. Yeah. £75 million because he was on his last year of his contract.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take the money while it's there. 32 years of age, 75 million. I'd be silly not to take it.
Yeah.
You know, and I got 2 good strikers. I can find another good squad player now, or even 2 good squad players. That was my thinking at the time, but we'll see what I've done.
I actually think you've been really smart with us, to be fair. Okay, we actually had some other players who had left the club as well. So we also sold Pierre-Emile Højbjerg for £15 million.
He's a big workhorse in my midfield, and
yeah.
I really did question myself with doing this, but I just thought, well, he's another player getting to a little bit of age group as well. I've bought wisely in midfield, especially defending midfields. I think I've got 2 really good ones in at the moment. I could afford to lose him.
Yeah.
Because I knew where I was going.
Yes.
After this.
And Jack Harrison, £30 million you got for Jack Harrison.
Good money. Good money for what I'd
signed him for half the price and barely played him, and then sold him on for a double. You're a bit of a wheeler dealer.
He helped me out a couple of times when I needed him.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get into my team now because I've better players in there.
Yeah.
In the role that he was playing as well, I've just thought didn't really need him now.
All right, Del Boy. Let's take a look then. Now, the first big signing that we made, Josko Gvardiol.
Yeah. Left back, that's where, when we looked at my squad, especially my defending squad, picked up that my left back was probably my weakest position. He was good where he was, the player that I had in that position, but out of the 4, that was my weakest. He come up, I went for him.
Yeah.
Thought it was a good signing. Only 23 years of age again, buying youth.
Yeah, absolutely. And he can cover you in centre back as well.
Yeah, I never think of that as well, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely got the pace, acceleration. Fantastic player. £55 million is actually a bargain. But your talisman signing of the season, it is Jude Bellingham, 90 million.
Just touched the get out clause. But see how we get on. He was a player I really, really wanted. So that was where we sold all the players to make up the money so we could afford to buy him. And we pinpointed it as soon as we seen him up for availability. I said, Jude and I, one player I want, that's the one player I wanted. So we hunted, sold, and got him.
Yeah, you did that. Definitely did that. So £90 million for his release clause. I still think it's actually a good signing, to be fair, because he is world class.
He'll go more than that, I think.
Yeah, he is world class in that midfield. Yeah. We signed him on for a good 5-year contract on a lot of wages. There was interest elsewhere, but we're the only club who made a move. Unlike Gvardiol, who Newcastle also bid, and we actually got the signing done.
Yeah, we offered him a little bit more wages than anybody wanted, just to make sure of that deal.
Yeah, and that wasn't even a lot of wages, by the way. No, that's only 115.
Yeah.
He only wanted 110. Dad offered him 5k more, and he said no to Newcastle and joined. You tell me whether this game's corrupt or not. So, Tactically then, what have we done?
We've changed. My best season was my second season, was it?
Season 2, yeah.
Even though I conceded a few goals in that season, I just looked at my defence and thought, well, we had a better season playing that formation, and now I've got a much better defence. So we've gone back to that, and I think we're going to do well.
Yeah, so we're missing Harry Kane, because he played a pivotal role in that shadow striker role, but we do have Dejan Kulusevski, because Pedro Porro can fill in on the right. That's the one position we decided to change from inverted to a winger, because that's what suits him. But this is what we're looking at, and when we select best 11, it actually picks Dad's favourite 11, other than these two switch around, so we decided not to even bother with it.
Nope.
So that's what we're going with.
Hey, if I think that it's my best team and my assistant thinks it's the best team, we're on the same wavelength.
I agree. So let's take a look at the game so far then, because we've had quite a fruitful time in the Premier League. A nice 2-1 victory against Wolves to kick things off with Christian Romero and Tammy Abraham. We seem to be getting a lot of red cards against us, which is good.
Yeah.
5-2 against Southampton. Tammy Abraham got 4 goals in total, taking his tally up to 5 so far.
Brilliant start for him.
Yeah. And then West Ham.
Look at this, look at my boy there.
Pedro Porro getting a hat-trick from right midfield. And none of them, because we watched all the goals, were from a set piece.
Nope.
They were all from open play, which is phenomenal.
When we watched it, Jude Bellingham just opened them up, didn't he, for us?
He did, yeah. He was very good. He got his 1 assist in that game there for Pedro Porro. And Tammy Abraham also got a nice little tap in, so he's on 6 goals there. Wickham, we fully rotated the side. Still 1-4-1.
Ready for the next game. I really wanted to win this next game.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Taking the lead 4 minutes in, Sandro Martinez, the best centre-back in the Premier League, in my opinion. He managed to get an equaliser. 1-1.
I'm happy with that, though.
Very good
really
start
happy
to the
with that.
season,
Good start. And the goal tally against isn't so much as what it was when we played that tactic last time.
No, but we're scoring a ton.
Yeah.
Which is good. So no European football to worry about or distract us.
Yeah, so
we can solely focus on the league and get back into the Champions League, because a few of our players are quite unhappy we're not in it.
Yeah, they were. And that was a big thing with Jude Bellingham. We didn't think we were going to get him to win because of that.
Yeah.
But, hey, we got him.
He's here.
He's here.
And he's going to get us back into the Champions League.
Another fans weren't happy with me selling
They were not. They were furious that you sold Harry Kane.
No, they were. They give me sticks and they sold. Yeah. But I think Jude Bellingham will be their number 1 now.
It softened the blow for sure.
Well, we give him the number 10 shirt as well.
We did. Okay, let's simulate this 4th season and see if we can get back into that Champions League. Okay, the result for season number 4. I don't know the result either.
Oh, get it!
I can't believe that. Now, genuinely, I said to Dad, I was like, when we simulated this season, I turned it off and I set it to autosave, and I turned it off without even looking at the result. I can't believe it. I knew around about Christmas you were first at one point. That was the last time I had seen it, but I can't believe you carried on and went on and won it. That is ridiculous. Fair play. 91 points as well.
Games.
45 goals for Tammy Abraham.
Get in. What 45. A buy, eh? What a buy.
He had the highest average rate and the most man of the matches by double as well. Richarlison's up there. He had 13 assists. You only lost 5 games. Man United, Arsenal, which I think we had seen. We're recording this a few days after Christmas, so it's been a while since we've seen it. Newcastle, a 4-0 loss, but I mean, we still went on and won 29 games. Won the league by 3 points, above Man United as well.
Oh, thank you.
Well, fair play. Take my hats off to you, Dad. I didn't expect you to do that. I really didn't.
Here we go. We tampered with the formation, but I just knew what players to get in.
Yeah.
I mean, we're recording this the day after Spurs drew with Brentford, 2 each.
Yeah.
Eric Dyer. No, you can understand why I had to get rid of him.
Yeah.
What a bad mistake he made.
And Højbjerg as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, already scored the second goal, but
yeah.
Hey, we got rid of the players that I always said were doing Spurs no good at all. Got rid of them. Got better players in. There's your result.
There is your
Conte,
result.
Take a look at that, my son.
Yeah, let's have a look. Well, have you done anything else in other competitions?
Come on, FA Cup.
Let's see. Semi-final of the FA Cup, semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Liverpool and Arsenal knocked you out.
I can take the Liverpool one, but not the Arsenal one.
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously without European football.
Yeah, I mean,
so we need to remember that.
That's a big help because
you had a huge advantage.
Yeah, not playing during the week, so.
But also on that, you were going to lose players if it weren't for the fact you guaranteed yourself Champions League football. You've gone on and won the league with it. So props to you. Transfer-wise, only been given 40 million next season.
It's going to be hard now because I ain't got many players I want to get rid of now.
No, that's it. It's going to be, that might be like one player. Yeah. So we'll see what we do season number 5, and we'll get back to you at the end of pre-season. Right, Dad. 2 players have left the club.
Yeah.
Oliver Skip being one.
We didn't use him very much, so I thought we could get him out, generate a bit more money. We looked at our team that we're in, and I thought really it was only one position I could do with strengthening, really, and that was the left striking attacker.
Yeah.
Not someone, Richarlison was good. Yeah. Someone else in as well, just to sort of strengthen it up. But defence spoke for itself. We looked at defence really bad, really close, didn't we? And there was just nothing we could change with it. It was top strike.
We brought in Urian Timber and Gvardiol recently.
Yeah. You couldn't ask for a better defence than what we had. We've won the league with it. Why change it? We looked at it. We looked at changing it. The reserve keeper. That was what we looked at, really, weren't we?
Yeah.
But there was no one any better than what was there, wasn't it? Really?
No.
So generate a bit more money, and I was going for one player.
Yeah. So you sold Oliver Skip. You also sold Marcus Thuram, who was your backup left-sided player, £19 million, again to generate, because we only had £40 million. That generated another, well, so we got to 80, which meant we went for Rafael Leao.
One player. What player to go for as well, eh?
Exactly. Probably the best left-sided midfielder outside of Mbappe on the game.
And it's not the only position he plays. So he is really a reserve striker.
Yeah.
Shadow striker, but mainly on the left-hand side, which is what we wanted. So I have 2 strong now left-sided strikers.
Yeah, and Richarlison is nearly 30,
and that was a
as
reason
well.
why.
That was another option that you mentioned.
So I brought in another youngest lad, 27.
Yeah.
Thinking of the future.
Absolutely, for you Patreon members.
So what a team they're going to take over from me, eh?
God, yeah.
We've just won the Premier League, and look at the players we've got in that squad now.
Yeah. So Tammy Abraham has been missing injury-wise for the first 2 months of the season. So we've played quite a lot of games already, which has meant
5, didn't we?
Yeah, which has meant that we have been playing Rafael Leao as a striker.
Yep.
And he's been doing quite well there as well.
Last game hat-trick.
Yeah.
5 games.
5 goals already there. So he's done very well in that position.
And he had a few man of the matches as well, didn't we?
He did have a few man of the matches as well,
We couldn't ask for a better person to come in and take over from him.
No. So tactically, we're obviously not going to change tactic because Dab won the league last year. So we're still sticking with the Season 2 tactic. I think we've only made one alteration on the right there. So Tammy Abraham, we have locked in up front. And you were a little bit and then I reminded you, he did score 45 Premier League goals last year.
Yeah, that's right, and that is his main position. So the other players that we got in, Rafael can go there anyway.
And Kulusevski.
And he can play the left side or striker, so where Tommy can't go anywhere else but there, so we've got to lock him in that position.
Exactly.
If he's not available, one of the other 2 will drop into that position, as you can see there.
Yeah, because if we put best 11, he would put Richarlison up front, which is not necessarily what we want to happen, because even if Tammy Abraham's not available, we'd rather it be swapped around, wouldn't we? So we'd rather put Tammy Abraham up front in that selection there instead of Richarlison, and that would be what Dad considers his best 11 going forward, and I tend to agree with him. That defence has been very good for us. Let's take a look at some of the results, because I think we're going to be really happy with this. Now, we beat Liverpool in the Community Shield. It's a first for Tottenham. I said to Dad, I was like, do you know what this competition is? Because you've never been in it before.
No.
So we had to play Liverpool in the Community Shield, and we beat them 2-1 with an 89th minute winner. Enzo Fernandez, the player we tried to buy, but we didn't get. He did score against us. Then we went to the other side of Merseyside in the away game at their new stadium.
With that game, I expected to win that one.
Yeah, we had a red card as well, and they scored right after, a minute later. But back to winning ways. 3-0 against Norwich. This is a clean sheet, Aston Villa, clean sheet, 2-0. But your biggest win, I think, was this.
Get in.
1-0. Now, you might think, why is it the biggest win? We restricted them to 1 shot and a 0.00 XG, which means the shot that they did take was probably like a halfway line clearance. And they never expected to actually score it, which I'll be honest, I've never seen a 0.0 XG. I've never seen it. I might have just had it, but never, took note of it, but I've never seen that. So you absolutely battered them, really. We even missed a penalty there. A lot of yellow cards, but it is a North London derby, and a 1-0 win. What a result that is. Then Rafael Leao then scored a hat-trick in a 3-1 away win.
Just those Brentford. 2 games, to me, he is then a fan's hero. Scoring the only goal against Arsenal, and then next game a hat-trick. He's all straight away a fan's hero.
And it's only Man City next. So
then Bayern Munich. Then Chelsea.
So there we go. That's a few and then West Ham, Man United. So few tricky games to come up. Now our Champions League, as we mentioned, is Bayern Munich, Leipzig, Dinamo Kiev, Shakhtar, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Sporting and Monaco. Welcome back to the Champions League.
I'd still be disappointed if I don't go through the knockout stages.
Yeah, there are some really. I mean, you're playing against the 3 best outside of the Premier League.
There is our teams that get, but I think the rest of the games that we got there, I think we could just scrape in, I think, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we are the champions after all.
You are indeed.
With the defence that we've got.
Don't get too cocky because we've got one season left.
I'm
and
not
if you get
too
sacked,
cocky.
it's going to be even more hilarious.
I just said what I really want is the FA Cup.
Yeah, I thought you would say that at some point. Right, okay then. Let's simulate this final season and see how Dad's last year as Tottenham manager gets on before you guys take over in the Patreon.
Come on.
Final season then. How have we done?
Okay.
Winners of the league again. By
2
a
seasons
mile
in a row.
as well, by the way. 83 points to 75, 8 points clear. That's huge. Didn't have a goal scorer,
Only
but
lost 5 games again.
yeah, Pedro Porro there with 12 assists is your main man there. 2 league titles in a row, Dad. And I got a little bit of a surprise for you. I brought you back maybe a little bit premature because we are about to play a Champions League final.
I got the final as well.
Final. And you won the Carabao Cup.
Ooh.
Won the Carabao Cup. You're knocked out of the FA Cup by Arsenal. But it is a Champions League final, and we're going to instant result it. So it's going to be a simulated Champions League final, but we will pick the team.
Mate,
so
I'm nervous as
yeah, we'll do that. Before we do that, actually, we'll take a look at how people have been performing. So 36 goals from Tammy Abraham. Rafael Leao got 18 with 13 assists. Jude Bellingham got 9 there. And Pedro Porro got 17. So nowhere near what it was last season in terms of like how many goals.
Played it as a squad though, mate.
But you're still there. So let's take a look then at how we've been getting on. What I think is quite funny is the amount of 1-0s that you've got.
Yeah.
Look how many 1-0s there are. There's so many 1-0s. It's unbelievable.
It's all about keeping a clean sheet though, boy, isn't it?
Yeah, you had a bad spell around the mid-period here. So in December, you had quite a few losses here. Liverpool, Brighton.
Look further up though. Look at the
Barcelona,
nails all the way
Look at all
down
the
through
nails.
that.
So I actually had an accomplishment on Steam. You won me a Steam achievement because you got 10 clean sheets in a row, which I haven't done yet. So thank you very much for that Steam achievement, which was the buying game all the way down to Fulham, where you played the likes of Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, and kept a clean sheet all the way through that. So that's quite funny. You had that one bad spell in December.
Yeah.
That was it. You had a few losses here in January, but one of them was a cup semi-final, which you actually obviously progressed through and won.
Yeah.
Which we can see
And it went back
is
to the-
over there. The Man City game 3-2.
Greens again. They're like,
Then back to greens.
Oh, we beat Man City 3-2.
3-2 in the final. You played Lazio in the knockout rounds. We defeated them. Then Juventus 1-1, 1-0.
Oh,
Barcelona, after losing to them earlier on in the season, 3-2. Then a 1-1.
Right, winning your own games, mate, innit?
Oh, yes. You had a bad end of the season as well. Few draws, no wins in 4 there.
Yeah.
Picked it up with a 1-0 win against Brentford. But obviously, you kind of already knew that you had won the league at that point, so we were fine. So, let's go ahead to the PSG game.
Of course, Harry
Pick
Kane's
the
there, isn't he?
team. You sold Harry Kane to PSG as well. It makes it even more interesting, doesn't it?
Ooh.
Let's find out.
Come on.
Right, Dad, let's pick your team then for this game.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep Tammy Abraham up front?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay, your left-hand side, you've got Richarlison, Rafael Leao, Kulusevski.
Raphael got to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the shadow striker role, what's your option? Kulusevski.
Yeah, he's my boy for there.
The right midfield, you got
Picks himself.
Pedro Porro.
Yeah, definitely. And Jude go into that position.
Jude Bellingham in the box-to-box midfielder role.
Yeah.
And then you got Camavinga or Basuma.
Who we got? PSG.
Camavinga has been your main starter there by the looks of it. He's played 46 games.
No, stick with him.
Stick with him.
And to be honest, I think the defence talks for itself.
Yeah.
They've played so well all season, so...
You got Timber on the
Timbers,
right.
Yeah.
You got centre-back of Romero one side. Gvardio is carrying a knock.
Right.
But he can still play.
Oh,
So he's back to full training tomorrow, and he's got the fitness to play a good 75 minutes. And then you got obviously Udogie at left back. So what you can do,
Udogie's going to go left back, isn't he?
yeah, and then obviously Kepa in goal.
So who would I play centre back if I didn't want to play him the full game? Say I wanted full strength. Is it Garcia?
Garcia would be your guy, yeah.
How many times did he play for the season then?
So Garcia, he started 37 games and played 16 off the bench.
And he's fully fit.
Yes.
Garcia.
Garcia over Josko Gvardiol.
How many times did he start?
Gvardiol is probably your main, because he's your main centre back. So
Yeah.
he started 43 games with 9 off the bench.
So when you say he can start fully training tomorrow, how long have we got? What's the
This
time?
is it now. This is, you're literally picking the 11 to walk out.
Right, Garcia.
Garcia.
I don't. In a cup final, you can't play a player that's injured. I don't think.
All right. Okay then. Well, that's your lineup.
Yeah, go for it.
Here we go. We're going to simulate the match. We're not going to watch it. We're just going to simulate because that's how we've been doing it the whole time. Let's see how we get on.
Come on.
Oh, it's a 2-1 loss, and Harry Kane scored in the final from the penalty spot.
He never scores
And
penalties.
Kylian Mbappe also got the second. Should we take a look at the goals? So apparently Harry Kane does score penalties. Indeed.
Yeah, when he puts them in the corners.
Yeah. Now, statistically, again, you kept PSG very quiet. They only had 7 shots all game. We had 20, I believe. Tammy Abraham there from Pedro Porro's assist, which seemed to have happened quite a lot this season. But unfortunately, it was trying to clear your lines. Bellingham gets caught on the board. Jamal Musiala to Mbappe, who had the space, and nutmegs the keeper in the 52nd minute. And that was game over. As you can see, 7 shots to your 24. So you dominated the amount of attempts, and unfortunately, you did not lift the Champions League trophy. But a valiant effort getting to the final. And of course, 2 Premier League trophies.
I'm happy with that. I've won a cup. As much as I wanted to win the FA Cup and Arsenal knocked me out, I'm chuffed a bit with that, mate.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that you've managed to do it that well, considering
win the league twice.
You picked all of the players and you picked the shape of the tactic and the tactic itself. I'm rather proud of you, I must admit.
Yeah.
So this means I give the viewers, the Patreon members, a challenge after 5 years. Well, you got to keep winning the league, of course you have. You've also got to win that FA Cup for Dad. He didn't manage to do it himself. I'd like you to do it, and if you can... 320 million. I've never seen that much.
Ever. I do that all the time.
Never seen that much in my life. 320 million.
I'm going to put a challenge in as well. You got to win the league and the Champions League.
You got to win the lot. 320 million. I've never seen that before. That is huge.
With the squad that you've got, there's only 1 or 2 players you can go out there and buy to improve what we've got.
Yeah. Very true.
Buy Ray wisely.
Yeah, just fill the squad out now.
I did the last 2 seasons, and look where it got us.
Unbelievable.
We won the league last 2 seasons. And how many players did we buy in the last 2 seasons? 3 players.
3 players the last 2 seasons, and we promoted a youth prospect in when we sold Oliver Skip. So
buy Ray wisely.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You finally got what you asked for. Dad did a rebuild, and he was actually really successful with it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash a like, and of course subscribe if you haven't done so. And back to Monday, where I'll be taking over the reins again. And we're going to do one of my favourite clubs, Eintracht Frankfurt. So we'll see you then next week. Bye-bye.